You're. Oh, man. Oh, man. Posting on the Instagram, watching the Knicks highlights, getting some beats together. You're in the chat. Can I get a you're? New York. The real New York. I don't live in Miami. We outside. Well, I'm inside. I got to work. Oh, boy. I'm like, I barely have a voice. I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew. I got a show to do. We're going to rock. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Oh, man. That was too much fun. Nearly 48,000 on hand tonight. Biggest crowd of the year. The Yankees take down the Mets 6-2. First game of the Subway Series in 20. That was too much fun, man. Come on in. Send a link to a friend to join the chat. Come on in. Oh, man. Let's lock this screen up. Let's get ready to do it. This is a big show tonight. I wasn't taking on. I could be in the boogie down. You feel me? I could be in the BX partying in the streets, but I got a responsibility and a job to do, and there ain't nobody that can do the job like I do it right now. You feel me? So let's get it, man. I'm getting these box scores up. I got Twitter up. My Twitter was going insane. I was at the Yankee game. We had WFAN out there, a lot of the hosts out there. We had, I think, some people at Madison Square Garden. What a night. Call me up. Tell me where you were at, where you watched. Get this live chat going before I go on. Jared, what up, Brody? Hector, appreciate you. Always know I can count on you. Mike Straw in here, yo. Mike Straw, what up? New York world, baby. It's our world. New York or nowhere. New York or nowhere. Pam, I know I can count on you. You're the best. Paul, here we go. Here we go. What a great night. Yankees win. Yanks and Knicks win. I couldn't be happier right now unless Olivia. LFG. Well, she's not showing up. Let's go. What up, Keith? Jersey Shore in the house. Sure thing. Celtics need to blow it up. Guys like Porzingis, Horford, they're cooked. They're done. We outside, but I'm inside. I could be outside, but they need me. They need me. I got a job to do. Who else would you want? You need a KM to AM, you heard?
Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up. But not in my truck. We're pushing the down button.
Soto went 0 for 2 with 3 walks. He's a walk merchant. Let's go Yankees, Keith. We're little brothers now. Tommy, yeah. Tommy's living in his Knicks stuff. Dalton, we outside, bro. Tomorrow. I'm really not going to have any voice tomorrow. How's everybody in the chat feeling? Jared wants to know how y'all feeling out there. Feel alive? We here. Nah. I sat in the nosebleeds because my cousin was up there. Let me flex on you real quick. You see this? I could go sit with Susan Wallman. You know how much those nosebleeds cost from your crib? Those nosebleeds were $150. But you were home. You want to talk about somebody sitting in the nosebleeds. I've sat in every section in Yankee Stadium. Don't judge somebody by where you see their videos at. I'll sit anywhere in that stadium. I'm not too big for that. I'm media. I could go upstairs. I could sit with Michael K. I'm outside the garden trying to get home. Absolute chaos. Yeah, it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night. Yeah, the Mets fans turned into Knicks fans quickly. What up? What a night in NYC. Congrats on the Chuck D interview. It was a blessing. What a day today. What a day today. But Keith, it was a regular season game. Yeah, but you only get that one once. We're going to talk about it. You only get that one once. With Juan Soto's return, that happens one time. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Yanks. Bro, what a massive overpay. We dodged one. We dodged one. Hey, Dalton, go to sleep, Brody. I ain't sleeping tonight. I'm going to be up because my son going to be up at 7, and I'm going to just run on caffeine. What up, Dario? Go OKC. Is that game? Oh, no, game 7 is Sunday. Yeah, NJ Transit made it hectic, bro. And a little bit of rain. I told y'all they were going to boom. It was obvious. It was obvious. How many minutes till we go? Okay, cool. I know Ryan sent the Chuck D interview, but I haven't listened to it. I'm sure you didn't get a chance to listen to it. I don't know how exactly we'll be able to use it. Okay, you're already on it. Some of the finest dishes in restaurants around the world are made in cookware. No, we don't need it, man. Empire State of Mind, Frank Sinatra, Biggie, Mobb Deep. I got 100 guns, 100 clips. I'm from New York. Just play the hits. Cue up the Go New York, Go New York, Go Knicks song. Yeah! Let's go New York. I said go New York, go New York, go. I told you it was going to be a movie. 2 movies in the greatest city in the world tonight. Man, what a time to be alive. 888-808-1019. That was so much fun. I'm still having fun. I could still be out in the streets. I could be out in the boogie down on River Ave. A lot of people went down to Madison Square Garden or outside. It's mob, the biggest crowd that you've seen out there for the watch party. This is what you wanted. Knicks in 6. Props to positive Tommy Lugauer calling his shot. How quickly Tommy left Yankee Stadium. Smart of him. How quickly Mets fans in Yankee Stadium turned into Knicks fans. And it was harmonious. It was a celebration. Every celebrity was in Madison Square Garden tonight. You knew that was an ass whooping coming. You had to know. You had to know. I know some of you called yesterday with panic. Some of you called and you're just so quick to quit on this team. No quit in New York, like the Rangers say. I knew they weren't going to quit. I knew after the way that game 5 went in Boston that these guys were going to be so locked in, so dialed in, and of course they were. If you're a Knicks fan, you got to be proud. They do it at home. You never get that. You never see that. Some of you young Knicks fans, this is your moment. This is the once-in-a-lifetime Knicks fan moment for the younger generation. They snap a 5-game losing streak in series clinchers. The first time since 99 that they do it in the middle of Manhattan. First time going back to the Eastern Conference Finals since 2000. Party like it's 1999. Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 and the 2000. Where were you after Y2K? 888-808-1019. What a night, man. Can I first start off and give props to Josh Hart? I know he didn't lead them in scoring, but the image of him being bloodied, the image or video of him having his family jewels grabbed in the last game, he shows up and puts together a triple-double in a closeout game. Josh Hart of the city. That guy's real. And then obviously, as quick as some fans were to jump on OG Anunoby for not having the performance in the game 5 that you would want. He's one of the highest paid play. Like, come on. OG was ready tonight. 23 points, 4 threes, knocking down all his free throws, give you 9 rebounds. How about Jalen Brunson? Obviously, the captain. 23 points out of him. Another guy hit all of his free throws. Couple threes. I mean, this game was never in doubt. Mikal Bridges, a solid night for him, a plus 25, 22 points, 2 blocks, a steal, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. I mean, they filled up the stat sheet and called the dogs off. Emptied the bench on him. Deuce McBride with 10 points, a plus 20 off the bench, giving you 32 minutes. Man, the Celtics are cooked. Can I talk about Boston for a minute? 888-808-1019. If any of you Bostonians want to chime in tonight, I doubt it. I bet you're going night-night. I bet you there's nobody on Boston radio on a Friday night that wants to work that shift. You're done. That's wraps. Chris Stapps, you're done. You're down. Jaylen Brown, blow the team up. Al Horford, retired. Luke Cornett. That was cute what you did in game 5, but the 5 points tonight, that's not enough. Not enough. 888-808-1019. Congrats to the New York Knicks and their fans. Stay down until you come up. It is your time. You're going back to the Eastern Conference Finals. You get a rematch against the Pacers, who you got unfinished business with them from last year. I'm going to the phones. It's not about me talking and ranting. I got to hear from you guys. But first, man, open the sunroof. Roll the windows down. Let them hear you. Yeah. Okay, let's get anybody else in here to talk. That's a Knicks fan. We're going to get to the Subway Series and the Yankees, but this is historic. This is playoffs. The Knicks are moving on. Tom is in Pleasantville on the fan. What's up, Tom? Great.
You're a first-time caller, bro. Dude, I started watching the Knicks when it was Nate Robinson, David Lee, was in the trench 24. And even when they got rid of Gallinari, all those dudes they brought in Melo, couldn't crack the code. Dude, I couldn't be happier, bro. Like, Midtown is crazy right now. I'm heading back north. I just got one question. How far do you think the Knicks are going to go afterwards?
I'm not underestimating them anymore. I underestimated them all the regular season. I thought this team, it was too early for them. I thought they didn't have the chemistry. They couldn't beat elite teams. The regular season doesn't matter. They got a chip on their shoulder. They can beat the Pacers, and then we'll see who comes out of the West. So, like, one game at a time. They do take it one game at a time, too. Like, I'm not going to put a ceiling on them. Like, this is great. Like, to see Yankee fans and Mets fans in the stadium jumping up and down, to see Yankee fans and Mets fans looking at the screens in the Ford Club, looking at anywhere they could find a screen, people, in the handicap areas with their phones up talking to, like, it's rare, man. I've never experienced it. So you love to see it, and there's more. There's more. I'm going to Eastern Conference Finals. I'm going to get in there one way because this never happens.
No, it's awesome. But who would you want to play if you could play anybody? The Timberwolves, or you think the Thunder?
Oh, for the storyline, the Timberwolves. I mean, there's obviously a storyline with iHeart and OKC, but man, the storyline with the Timberwolves, Tom Thibodeau, Karl Anthony Towns, Dante DiVincenzo, Julius Randle, Alex Rodriguez. I just think it would be great if that happened. Thanks for the call, Moose. 888-808-1019. I know everybody is drinking. I know everybody is celebrating, but this is a children's program. I'll be on till 2 a.m. Let's just keep it clean so I can keep you on. We don't got to dump the calls. We can keep it rolling. Let's live in this tonight. You're going to remember this night for a long time. Moose is in Jamaica on the fan. Did you cash that bet, Moose?
You know I did.
Bang.
It wasn't just you. I hit up people. There was like, first things first was good. Shout out to the Knicks. Good money made, like Kanye said. Can't tell me nothing. Everybody, their mother, their father, their brother, their sister. Celtics in 5. I almost agreed. I put my neck on the line. I put $100. Made 500. It's not for me. It's about me. So congrats to them. Incredible ball movements. It's white on rice defense. They were not going down without getting arrested. That amount of fight, like, you gotta give them props.
Yeah. I mean, at halftime, it was what, like 67-34, and the conversation in Yankee Stadium, people were ready to leave Yankee Stadium. The conversation is, yo, no way. They're gonna close this out, right? No way are they not gonna finish this. And yeah, it was a different energy. And that's what I was saying after game 5. Okay, the Celtics, they got one. It was 64-37. They got one. But can they muster up that energy again? Can they travel back up here and force a game 7? No, it's going to be too much. They had everybody in there from Busta Rhymes. I saw Ice Spice and Sauce Gardner. Like, they had everybody out tonight, and the energy in New York was too much for Boston.
One thing I'll leave you, Keith. And the same exact thing happened in game 5 that happened in game 6. The Knicks went up by 9. But guess what happened? The Garden crowd said, nah, we're cheering you going up by 9. The Boston crowd got on the Celtics like, you can't go down this way. But the Garden's like, nah, we taking this and we going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Thanks for taking my call, Keith.
It was a party in there. Thanks for the call, Moose. I think the Celtics tied it up. It was like 16-16. Like, there was a little bit of early jitters in the first quarter, some fouls, some turnovers, some missed shots, which is natural. Like, you're on the precipice of doing something that hasn't been done in 2.5 decades. And, man, it was a party in there. I was in Yankee Stadium listening and watching on my phone. Shout out to Mitchell and Fort Lee. I ended up coming around. Shout out to my boy, Mike Luigi. I put 2 and 2 together tonight. I have a friend, last name Luigi. Obviously, talk of the town is going to be Loogie with his prediction, Positive Tommy. I ran into Sal. I ran into Hoff. Hoff will be on after me tonight. And, Mitchell and Fort Lee's like, come down to my seats. And I'm down there right behind right field, watching on my phone, listening to the game. And, yeah, it's a party, man. It's a celebration. New York City, we up. Subway Series, ridiculous. 47,000 plus. MSG on fire. You can hear them from the Rough Riders anthem in there. What else? You guys know. It's a crazy night, and we're going to keep it going. Mike is in Linden, New Jersey. Not from Boston, but a Boston fan. Go for it, Mike.
Hey, what's going on, Keith? First time caller. I listened to your show. Every night it helps me get through with this Uber job. But so the Knicks, they definitely got the win tonight, but they're not gonna win the chip. They're not gonna get past Indiana, and all this celebration is all gonna come to an end. It's
Thanks for listening to the show, Mike. Thanks for chiming in, Mike. But we're not doing that. You're not about to tell us what we about to do. What you're not about to do is anything else. Enjoy your chip from last year. You live in Jersey, you're a Celtics fan, bro. Just go to bed. Appreciate it, bro. Or drive safely, rather. You said you're driving, doing Lyft Uber. Tonight is a celebration. Let's go to Bayonne and talk to Lewis on the fan. Lewis, tell us something better than the last call.
Yo, Keith, what's up, bro? Long time fan. I'm going to tell you one thing. I'll tell you 4 things real quick. Paolo Prigioni, Andrea Bargnani, Ron Harper, Eddie House. Bro, these are dudes I rooted for years.
Heard you.
One, feel me?
I know it.
What we should be doing today is just celebrate, having a good time. We'll take Indiana game at a time. Don't go crazy with anything, but come on, bro. Look at who I just told you we were rooting for. And shout out to the Victory Creatures. You already know.
Yeah, I was out there with him. Thanks for the call. I'll say this, man. Yeah, call up tonight and throw out all the names of the different Knicks that this is for. This is for Clee Anthony Early. This is for Frank Nicolatina. I've already heard David Lee. He said Eddie House. This is for J.R. Smith and them. We've heard Carmelo. Like, think of all the years of those Knicks teams that y'all rolled for that you knew weren't going to get it done, weren't going to get there. You're there now. Don't let anybody tell you what you're not going to do, what's not going to happen, because the entire world told us Celtics in 5 if they don't sweep them. 888-808-1019. Leanne is in Yonkers on the Fan. You got it.
Hey there, Keith. This is such an exciting night.
Happy birthday! What a perfect time to have a birthday. Taurus season.
Oh, yeah, it is, Keith. And I'm such a big fan of yours. You've done such an amazing job. Really, it's amazing. And the fact that the Yankees beat out the Mets, we always know that this is a Yankees town. But the fact that the Knicks are headed to the Eastern Conference Finals, what a time to be alive in New York. There is no better feeling right now. I grew up in an era with David Lee, Nate Robinson. How about Landry Fields? Let's talk about this team that we've been waiting for so long. Everyone in New York should stand up, and there's no reason why we can't make it to the finals. We can beat Indiana. There's no way. We got it.
Great call, Leanne. Thank you for the compliments. Enjoy your birthday. And yeah, Yankee Stadium was amazing. I'll say this about the game. Of course, it's just a regular season game, but you only get Juan Soto's return to Yankee Stadium as a Met one time. And that went fantastic tonight. Leanne shouted out the Bleacher Creatures. Man, I love y'all in 203. Like, there's nothing like it in sports. There's nothing like it in baseball. I don't care. People can talk about their fan bases. Like, to see the Creatures all turn around and turn their backs, I was in it. But then when I checked my phone and I could see the TV and the social media, like, that was so well executed. If you were listening to the post game, you heard all through the stadium, not just the bleachers, we got Grisham, we want Grisham. There were so many different Juan Soto chants and things thrown at Juan Soto. And yeah, 2 days of rest for Juan. What'd he go? 0 for? And, he worked his walks. Those are some expensive walks. Those are expensive walks for Tyler McGill as well. We'll get to it, but I want to stick with the Knicks energy, yo. Shout out to Lance Thomas. Tyler out on Long Island on the Fan. Tyler, you got it. Go for it. They're partying in the streets.
Let's get rid of Porzingis right now. Oh, Nick.
It's going. Porzingis, yeah, Porzingis is raps.
So first of all, I want to talk about Yankees and I guess Yankees next weekend. Also Knicks. How about the Knicks? Granted, I know it's a long season. We have Knicks did it last year. Yeah.
All right, you gotta do better than that. The phone lines are jammed. You gotta do better than that, fellas. I know you guys got conversations in the back. Again, I know people had a few brouhahas. It's a celebration, it's a party, but let's keep it rolling. I could do all the talking, but I want to hear from you. So, like Leanne just called, and something other, like, hit me with something. A lot of people listening. Brett is in the Upper West Side on the Fan next. What's up, Brett?
What's up, Keith? How's it going?
Great. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I was out chemistry celebrating for a bit, now back home, and just want to talk about how the chemistry left off the charts today. When Cat is on, you just see him click with Brunson, then you see OG clicking too, and I just feel like this team is unstoppable. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, as I was watching in there, I'm like, okay, last game you saw the Celtics adjust without Tatum, and they passed the rock. Tonight you saw 25 assists from the Knicks, and whoever's open, shoot it. If you got a contested shot, give it up. They were all over the place. And yeah, their chemistry was there. They all hit their free throws, and they were all bought in because they weren't going back to Boston. They knew there was one job and one job to do only, and they did that job from start to finish. This was their first game, maybe of the entire series, definitely of this entire series, playing the full 48 minutes and being dominant and being in control. And you love to see it because it bodes well for the next series where people are going to talk about the depth of the Pacers and how they run the floor and how many guys they have. So what, man? These guys have heart. And we talked about their chemistry all year about how quickly would they come together because Mikal Bridges just got with these guys. Okay, he's obviously played college ball with Hart and with Brunson. Okay, Karl Anthony Towns coming in late. Man, they have built their chemistry through these playoffs. The Pistons was a tough series. The Celtics was a tough series completely uphill that nobody thought they could do. That's what strengthens their bond. That's what brings the camaraderie and brings them together. It is literally New York versus everybody, and those guys embody it.
Yeah, I agree. It just, you have the three from college plus Cat on and OG. Like, that starting lineup, no one can stop them right now in the league.
Hey, you got to believe. Thanks for the call, Brett. 888-808-1019. Belief is needed. I've been saying that a lot. And when you're a fan, you're supposed to be fanatical, irrational. You're supposed to believe. Moose in Jamaica put $500 on the Knicks to win the series. When people probably told him, what? Why would you do that? Every show you watch, you listen to the radio, every podcast. Yeah, it's probably, Knicks can't win this one. Probably Celtics in 5. Knicks are, no way. The Celtics, they don't match up well against the Celtics. They can't guard the 3. The Celtics shoot the 3. The Celtics are the defending champ. This is why we bet on this stuff. This is why we talk about it nonstop and have all these shows. This is why we pay so much money to go see, because nobody knows. 888-808-1019. When we come back, we'll do the big shot of the night. We'll keep taking your calls on the Knicks, and I'll slowly sprinkle in more things about how, the guys that the Yankees pivoted to after Juan Soto chose the Mets, they shined tonight. It worked out for both sides. You could call it a silver lining. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But we don't need you. It was a glorious night in the Bronx. Keith McPherson on the Fan. I'll be right back. Yeah, so we'll get Big Shot out of the way. Oh, I'm live. Hello, chat. Another KM to AM, live from the Fan in New York. Your host, Keith McPherson here, till 2 a.m., taking your calls. If you'd like to talk on air, dial 888-808-1019 one time, or you could talk amongst yourselves right here in the chat, as I see you guys are doing. We're about to reach 1,000 views. If you have a friend that's home and maybe they're not in New York, but they want to live in the ambiance, the atmosphere of this, send them a link. Tell them pull up. Tell them talk in the chat, listen to the calls, listen to me, and just pass the night. This is a historic night. This is one of those rare nights in New York sports and history. People are going to ask you years from now, where were you when the Knicks clinched the Eastern Conference Finals? Where were you when Juan Soto made his return to Yankee Stadium? Let's continue. In the chat, going back, my boy Ben out here. Ben, congratulations, young man. I'm proud of you. I am happy for you. Live in it, bro. Live in it, bro. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it, man. All right, this chat started going crazy. Katie, that's what type of time I'm on. Goldie Belly Devin Williams, like, how poetic is it that guys that we probably would not have had if we signed Juan Soto start tonight? Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Oh, they're wilding, bro. The Bronx is not Queens. It's different over here, bro. It's the boogie down. It's the BX. We come there. We come to Yankee Stadium ready for the smoke with our own fans. So, like, with Met fans, that's what I was saying on Twitter. I was like, boo Juan Soto, I'm booing every Met fan I see. Every Met fan I see on the street, every Met fan I walk past in the section, boo, take that off. It was great. Great night. Never forget it. Johnson brand, salute. Bleacher creatures turning their backs on Soto was classic. That's an image that'll never go away. That's forever. Got to be up at 4:45 a.m. for my daughter's softball. Yeah. Appreciate you, bro. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drive home, and I know the tunnel, they closed the Holland Tunnel at night. So everybody's got to go through the Lincoln, and I know it's going to be bumper traffic trying to get out of here. I probably won't get home and go to sleep until 3:30. My son will get up at 7. My wife will want to go to the grocery store at 8. I'm going to try to go to the grocery store 8 to 9, go home, take a quick nap 9 to 10, get up, get on the train by 11, and be at Yankee Stadium by 12 for the next game. I heard rumors Sam Cassell was beefing with Missoula about the way they were playing and how they kept jacking up threes. Yeah, I bet, because he's old school. That's stupid. Soto embarrassed, 40K. I don't know what that means. He made 40K. Soto's embarrassed he made 40K today for working walks? Indy rematch is going to be tough. Oh, I see. This is a Met fan in here. Weak-ass crowd. Soto tipping the hat. Just hold the L, buddy. Just hold the L. You might as well. Here, take this. Go to bed. Take that with you. Night-night. David Lee was good. He just played on a... Yeah, I know it. I know it. All right, we got to do big shot of the night here. We'll do a double shot. Bro, my internet is tweaking. Shit. I'm still
years old. I've been a fan since I can remember. It's been 26 years since we closed out a series at home. I couldn't be more fired up. I love your energy. I know you're a Nets fan, but I love your energy with the Knicks. And I just want to call, thank you for hanging up on that, man. And let's go Knicks.
Thanks for the call, Mark. Yeah, it ain't about me. It ain't about my fandom. It's about this city. It's about the fans in this city. It's about the towns being lit up. It's about people that are smiling in a way they haven't smiled in a long time, man. This is for Jamal Crawford. You know what I'm saying? This is for Eddie Curry. I'm about to keep dropping random Knicks players' names. Did you say that on air? Did you say that in my Connor goes in my ear? He goes, Ron Baker. John is in Masbeth on the fan. What's up, John?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Fantastic. What a game tonight. The environment at Yankee Stadium was just like unreal.
Yeah, this is the beginning of the end for the Mets, man. This is the beginning of the little.
Hey, it's just the back-to-back losses. The offense sputtering a little bit.
Let me explain. Last 20 games, Mets are just 10-10. Phillies are right behind them now, 1.5 back. Phillies won 13 of the last 18. Braves are 23-13 in their last 36 after they started 0-9. They got Strider and Acuna coming back. McGill's the first piece of that rotation to fall apart. Kranick's the first piece of that bullpen to fall apart. This pitching lab is nothing but a fraud. Pete Alonso's hot start was nothing but a fraud. He's hitting like 135 now in the last 10 games. Struck out in half his.
John, what if they come out and they smack Clark Schmidt tomorrow? I'm going to the game. Don't do this.
Hey, I don't care because we'll just smack him on Sunday. Good. They can take 1 out of 3 and, hold that little moral victory and not getting swept. But you know what, though? I called this in the beginning of the year. The Mets are not making the playoffs. They're going to finish third in the division. They're going to be sitting at home watching the Yankees all postseason long.
Thanks for the call, John. John is a Yankee fan that has been, very hard pressed on Juan Soto. And I know he leans into it too. And I know they're Mets fans that think we're obsessed with Juan Soto. We're obsessed with baseball, specifically Yankees baseball. And, a lot of the thoughts that I had about Juan Soto, I think he's a great player. Did I love him as a Yankee? Yeah. But my Yankee fandom and loyalty, I just don't think there's a better place to be than Yankee Stadium playing for the Yankees. I couldn't imagine. All of these players my entire life talk about putting the pinstripes on. All of these players my entire life talking about Yankee Stadium and the crowd and the chance to be a Yankee. So I'm sorry. Excuse me if I just look at Juan Soto bro, you're bugging out. The Yankees offered you the more money than they offered anyone ever. And I understand it was a higher offer up the street. But good for you. Understand that, we don't rock with you, bro. We take that as disrespect. I said Juan Soto was boo-proof. I never seen it, bro. I've been to hundreds of Yankees games. I told y'all they booed Hal Steinbrenner when I was in there. Derek Jeter night. I know some of y'all were in there too. If they can boo Hal and they can boo Aaron Judge, he's the only guy that was immune to booing because Yankee fans wanted him to be a forever Yankee. $760 million is enough. But what do I know? And it's for all the people that say, oh, it was only $5 million more. No, it wasn't. There's a lot more. But good, man. Just understand, this is what comes with it. You specifically stayed in New York to be a Met. These Yankee fans are insane. The amount of Juan Soto jerseys that had something else written on the back, the amount of F. Juan Soto shirts and chants, the amount of theatrics that came out of the bleachers, a lot of creativity, a lot of funny stuff. It created the best environment in this Major League Baseball season across the country. 888-808-1019. It is already midnight. If you're on hold, stay on hold. If you want to call up, call up. I'm going to hammer the phones. We're going to keep dropping, former Knicks. Shout out to my boss, Ryan. Ryan said, can I throw one in? He says, Greg Butler, Google him. Keith McPherson on the fan. I'll say good morning on the other side. We'll be right back. Yo, you know who's coming in after you? Okay. Okay, yeah, because I got there. I'll come in there. We'll be right back. Yo, Alex, you coming in? Okay, I'm back. I see the chat building. I see y'all rocking. Bro, the internet crashed, and I was like, the internet crashed. The internet crashed as I did Big Shot. So I didn't have the Yankee box score. I didn't have the Knicks box score. I just did that off the top of my head because I had read it once and I knew what they scored and what the stats were. Yo, Michael, that song that I use for Big Shot is Kendrick Lamar, Big Shot, from the Black Panther soundtrack. Let me see. Catching up. Yeah, internet shaky. I know. That's not on me. It just is what it is. It was great meeting your daughter as well. Facts. Never, bro. If the Nets somehow get good in the next eternity, the only people that will probably have this type of energy, me and Evan, they will be hated on.
Good morning at 12 o'clock. I'm Marco Belletti, and this report is brought to you by FreeSelfSpeedRaces2.com. Well, at the Garden, it was a party all night. They were just getting started, though. They roll the Celtics. 119-81 marks their largest margin of victory in franchise playoff history. Take the series in 6. Mike Breen the call on ESPN. OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, each are 23. Mikal Bridges, 22. Karl Anthony Towns, 21 points, 12 rebounds. And Josh Hart knocks the triple-double. Deuce McBride, 10 off the bench. It's the first trip to the Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years. First series clinching victory at the Garden since 1999. Knicks, Pacers, Game 1, Wednesday night. Juan Soto heard the boos from the Bronx crowd, and the Yankees took control with a 6-2 victory over the Mets. Paul Goldschmidt knocked in a pair. Cody Bellinger a 3-hit night. Anthony Volpe, Jason Dominguez each drove in a run, while Carlos Rodon allowed a run over 5 with 5 Ks. Devin Williams, a perfect inning, struck out the side. Jonathan Loáisiga made his season debut with a scoreless inning. For Soto, walked 3 times, finished 0 for 2, including flying out to end the game as he heard the Bronx crowd loud and clear. Tyler McGill didn't have it. 4 runs, 4 hits, 5 walks, and just 2 2/3. 65 degrees, cloudy skies, Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Marco Belletti.
Good morning, good morning, New York. The Knicks are moving on. We got another game in the Subway Series tonight. Saturday. Keith McPherson on the fan. I got 2 more hours. Taking your calls at 888-808-1019. Wherever you are. If you're Dolo, call us up. We're all in this together. I got the live chat going. My voice is going because I was in Yankee Stadium going hard. I don't show up there to be quiet, you know, not on a day like that, not on a night like that. What a time to be alive. Back to the phones we go to talk to the greatest fans in the world. New York City, everybody was watching the Garden and Yankee Stadium, and we turned up. Go New York, go New York, go. And when you say go New York, that's just the New York Knicks, New York Yankees. Maybe the Mets will get one later on today. Ralph is in Franklin Square. Hello, Ralph.
Great night for Knicks fans. So I'm a Knicks fan. My earliest Knicks memory is Bernard King blowing out his knee in 1984. And so I remember the entire Patrick Ewing era. And I got to say, this team, like, we were so unlucky when we were coming up with Patrick Ewing that we played during the Jordan times. We went to the finals against Hakeem, went to the finals without Ewing against David Robinson and Tim Duncan. So we just were up against forces of nature. You know, we just had there was no way, you know. But this team feels like the most talented team where, you know, compared to those teams, and then looking over at who else against us, I don't see Jordan, you know, across the way. I don't see an Elijah across the way. FGA maybe, you know, maybe. Jokic is obviously great, but I don't know. I just think I have hope for like those other finals runs felt like, you know, there's just no way. This team, there's like an actual way, Keith. The path. I don't remember. It's been 25 years of Howard Isley and Anthony Early and whoever the hell else, you know, Greg,
Dennis Smith Jr.,
Carter. You know, like, I mean, this is amazing. I'm so psyched. Thanks for giving us a forum because this is fantastic, Keith.
You got it. Thanks for the call. 888-808-1019. Like, that is part of it as well. You knocked down the Celtics. Back in February and March, April, it was a foregone conclusion that the Celtics would be the 2 seed, the Knicks would be the 3 seed, and there's just no way they were going to beat the defending champs. They were a matchup nightmare. There's just no way. They beat them 4 times in the regular season. The Knicks don't defend the 3 well. Celtics shoot the 3 well, and They don't match up well against them, even though this team was built to beat the Celtics, and they just beat them. Like, so now, okay, they're going to tell you don't match up well against the Pacers. The Pacers are deeper. The Pacers are more rested. That rest might not be great. The series starts Wednesday. I was talking the other night about how it'll be a full calendar week that the Pacers will be off the floor, not playing basketball, not playing high-intensity basketball. I think it bodes well for the Knicks. Let's see. And maybe they have a little bit more in the tank because of how the season ended last year. Definitely OG should, Josh Hart should, Brunson should, because they were out. Mitchell Robinson, they were out. Those guys should feel some type of way like, hey, we have a chance for redemption. We have a chance for some get back, get our lick back. 888-808-1019. Nick in Yonkers on the Fan. What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Great.
I want to talk about the Yankees. I'm happy we beat the Mets tonight. You know what? It's more important because you beat Juan Soto tonight. And I'm not like an ignorant Yankee fan, but I don't know. And also, it's actually a great night for New York, like fan base wise. The Knicks won game 6 tonight. It's a good night, but Yankees will always be the big brother.
Just had to remind him. Again. Thanks for the call, Nick. Like, it's one game. And it's funny because like that's what I'm getting hit with on Twitter and people like commenting like, oh, it's just a regular season game. It's just one game. Oh, do these games count now? As if Juan Soto existed in this rivalry before. They're trying to minimize now how much like Juan Soto played a factor in this. Since the winter meetings, this date has been circled. Since the winter meetings, we've been talking on the Fan about this dude and what this dude was going to do when he comes back to Yankee Stadium. As if Yankee fans booing him, chanting F. Juan Soto, turning their backs on him, saying we want Grisham, was going to power him up and he was going to have a 3-homer night. That did not happen. Maybe it happens tomorrow. I doubt it. You get one time for Juan Soto to come back to Yankee Stadium and go into right field. That picture of us in 203 with our backs turned is forever. They should put that on the cover of the New York Post. I know that's everywhere from MLB Network to all of these, blogs and accounts that cover baseball. What a scene. And the Yankees win. The Yankees win. Play Frank and all that. Sing it loud. New York, New York. Start spreading the news. Tell everybody. And it's poetic the way that the game was won. Maybe you're not reading as deep into it as I am as a fan. I'm not obsessed with Juan Soto. I'm obsessed with the Yankees and baseball and the storylines. And like I said, man, having guys go out there like Bellinger have a 3-hit night. He wasn't on the team last year with Soto. Having Goldschmidt go out there and ball, 2 hits, 2 RBI, have a good defensive night. He wasn't on the team last year with Soto. Neither was Devin Williams. Jonathan Loaizaga comes back tonight and helps us out. Even Luke Weaver, who was on the team. Luke, come out, bro. We need you. We need you to sit him down. We got to make sure that this one ends the right way. Shout out to Carlos Rodon, another big spot, a huge spot where Carlos Rodon, he could have blown it. He could have given up a homer. I was worried. Carlos Rodon has been great. We owe him a ton of respect and applause for how he's turned his season around. 47,700 fans. That's the largest attendance in Yankee Stadium this season. That many people saw Juan Soto live, not be the $765 million man, but, he was a $765 million walk merchant. EJ and East Meadow on the Fan. Hello, EJ.
And seriously, go like word up, for real. They won one game. Carlos was great. The team that you guys have built was really good. You guys got to stop. The Mets fans didn't make a big deal about this. Yankee fans made a big deal about this, and then the Mets fans responded.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we don't care about one.
Salty, cope. Oh, you Yankee fans are so salty and coping. Get over it. You guys are acting like he's an ex-girl. Like, please, bro, please.
I'm saying that if you're going to say that you're over it, then at least admit you're not over it, and that's what the salty wound feels like. Hey, Chris.
No. Check me out, Brody. Check me out, bro. Check me out, bro. I didn't hang up on you. I just would like to speak on my own show. Yankee fans are over it. The team is better. This all had to happen the way that it happened. The Yankees had more holes to fill than just right field. We lose Juan Soto, and it feels like we lost the guy that propelled us to the World Series. And if you let a Met fan tell it, oh, he carried them to a World Series. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Not on his own. And how come he couldn't have won the World Series for the Yankees then if he was so great? You put Judge back in right field. And then you fill up different spots with different players and arms, and you make the team better. You focus on defense, pitching, making lineup deeper so it's a team and not a tandem. It was fun last year with the tandem of Judge and Soto. But like Anthony Rizzo was getting at bats. Alex Verdugo was getting at bats. DJ LeMahieu got a ton of at bats. He may get some at bats later today. But like, don't call me up now, EJ, and say like, oh, it's one game. Oh, if you're over it. Yeah, we're over it because that's it. It's done. Juan Soto returned to Yankee Stadium. Did he crush the Yankees? Did the Mets win? No. To the victor go the spoils. We got one on y'all. The Mets swept the Yankees last year. That's not happening this year. I'll let you get back on, EJ, but like, could you hear me clearly? You understand what type of time I'm on? Juan Soto coming back to Yankee Stadium, that is forever. He did nothing tonight. Oh, he stole a base. It is one night. We'll see what happens. We'll see what I didn't hang up. I'm putting you on hold because I'm not gonna talk over you and back and forth. I'm gonna say what I gotta say.
Something. That's it.
You have the floor.
Okay. So all of the passion that you're coming back with reflects again. Please don't please. You can hang up on me.
Say what you gotta say.
All of the stand back that you're coming back with right now literally reflects how much it really actually burns you that the guy left you at the altar and he came to a new team. You got to win 2 more. And until you win 2 more, until you learn to pitch, you guys actually get it. And until you
1986, my boy, you got to go. Ed is in Denville on the Fan. What's up, Ed?
Yo, Keith, what's going on? First time, long time.
Appreciate it. Good.
Big night for Nick. Yo, I got some names for you. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Andrea Bargnani, Beno Udra, Alexi Shved, Mario Hazonia, Jerome James. We have been through it, my friend.
Well, Wayne Ellington.
25 years for this. We have crawled through a pile of you know what and came out squeaky clean on the other side, my friend. It is a great, great night to be a Knicks fan, my friend.
Man, enjoy it forever. Thanks for the call, Ed. Like, you know, think about like I got to go back to some of the games that I went to the Garden years ago, and some of the lineups and some of the randoms that were out there when we were like so far away from even thinking about this team. And this is a hell of a team. And look at how they put this team together. Not through the draft, trades, free agency, couple draft picks. You know, this is for Chris Duhon. Rob is in Staten Island, on the Fan in New York.
Hey, what's going on, Keith?
Holding it down.
Yeah. Well, it was great. Actually, it was partially good. Knicks win, great. Mets lose, but it's okay. There's always tomorrow. The rest of the season, we'll see what happens with that. Again, the Knicks, and this one's also, the guys stole my thunder a little bit, but that's okay. Frederick Price, Steve Francis, Antonio McDyess, all down the line. Knicks, this is for you guys, man. But Indiana cannot be taken lightly. There's a reason why they knocked off the number 1 seed, the Cavaliers. It's not going to be easy. I think we're going to win in 7, but it's not going to be an easy series. So I just want your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be easy. And you're not supposed to be comfortable as a fan. You're going to be hella nervous for the next couple weeks. You're going to wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh, wait, we're in the Eastern Conference Finals? What a dream. What a dream. Last time the team that I root for was in the Eastern Conference Finals, I was a teenager. I barely remember it, to be honest. And I also knew they didn't stand a chance because they had to go up against Kobe and Shaq. They had to go up against the Spurs. So, I mean, and I forget which caller, just a couple callers ago said, like, I mean, was it Ralph? Like, there's a pathway here. The top 2 seeds in the East are eliminated. There's a pathway here. You have home court advantage. There's a pathway here. If it's the Timberwolves, if it's the Nuggets, if it's OKC, whatever, there's a pathway here to the finals. There's a pathway here to winning the finals. That's amazing. That's a great feeling. For all of the losing and all of the mocking and all of the laughing that you had to deal with for all those years and all the shame that you had to feel like, you know, like you couldn't really rep your team like that. Think about all of the years that you watched the playoffs and the Knicks weren't in it. Here we are. Here we are. It's great. Let's see. I want to talk to some Yankee fans. Well, I don't know who's a Yankee fan. But like, yo, if I got one message to the Met fan, you can drop it now. What are you saying to a Yankee fan and be like, it really burns you up inside that he left? Nah, we're good, bro. We're in first place. We got a hell of a team. The best player in baseball is on the Yankees. It doesn't burn us up. What burns us up is being fans. What burns us up is going to the stadium and turning up. Like, that is what's burning in us. The bright side, the silver lining, we're living in that. This team is better without Juan Soto right now. If the production that Juan Soto is putting together for the Mets, if he was putting that together for the Yankees and the Yankees didn't have some of the other pieces, we would be booing him. So it worked out for both sides. And just understand that, like, you're not getting anything over on a Yankee fan being like, cope, salty. You're not doing anything to us. Right now, we have the upper hand. You thought for months you had the upper hand because you signed the player. And I tried to tell a lot of you that doesn't mean anything. That's not even anything in the win column. That doesn't get you the postseason, right? Like, we got to the World Series with Juan Soto. Can you get to the World Series this year with Juan Soto? You've got 15 years to do that. But the first return of Juan Soto to Yankee Stadium is done. No matter what. Can't get that back. And so many of you told us what was going to happen. And, be careful. Don't boo him. Don't chant F Juan Soto. He might get you. Yeah, or he might also just stare at pitches and be left on base. Oh, he did score once. But, like, you can't miss me with that. You can't call me up and talk about, it must really burn you that he went across town. It would burn me if anybody, not just him. I thought I explained that. The way I look at it and the way that I've seen it my entire life, being a baseball fan, every player that gets to be a Yankee talks about being a Yankee. Just this year, Carlos Carrasco. He wasn't talking about how great it was to be a New York Met. He talked about just the chance, just the opportunity to put on the pinstripes. So to me, there's value in that. Maybe I'm biased. My entire life has been altered from being a Yankee fan. Nobody told me to be one. I just watched the TV and chose to be one. Look what I've been able to do just for rooting for that team. So completely brainwashed by the New York Yankees. Guilty. I think Juan Soto, and I'm glad that he didn't take the money because we definitely don't need him. And this team, I'm happy with this team. I'm starting to fall for this team as currently constructed with help on the way. Like, Stanton is on his team. And then, like, next year, Cole will be back. You forgot Garrett Cole's not even on his team. But, like, Juan Soto, you are in New York. You chose to be a Met for the suite, for the clothing allowance, for the security, for the extra tickets, and for this, like, made up thing about family and a dynasty and all this other stuff. Congrats, buddy. Congrats, buddy. Anybody who's anybody knows you stick with the brand that the Yankees are. All that extra incentives and all of that, like, extra money when you opt out and they can add to the AAV, you would make that. And I'm sure he's making money with the Mets and endorsements and stuff, but it's different with the Yankees. And I could be a biased fan or not, but that's fact. It is fact. Like, if he would have stayed with the Yankees and stayed with Judge, there would have been all this type of stuff, but it wasn't meant to be. And it doesn't burn me. I don't lose any sleep at night. I'm loving this. Tonight was amazing. 888-808-1019. Mike in Elmwood Park. You're on the Fan.
Oh, Keith, it's Mikey O.
Mikey O.
a great time tonight. I'm telling you something. It was monumental. The turning the back, everything, the way it worked out, it was like,
I told y'all.
it's blowing up social media, right? Last night we talked about this. And we said the approach was, not to go nuts, not to go crazy, to do, and you know what? Everybody complied. And it was like you said. Now, here's the thing. That idiot called before, and I got to say this. Remember one thing. We were always called the evil empire. Remember? Always.
Of course.
Now you get this guy Cohen, okay? This was astronomical. Every Yankee fan like you and I, we all feel relieved that we did not get Juan Soto. We still have the dancing of Jacoby Ellsbury dancing in our head. Things like
Aaron Hicks's contract, Josh Donaldson's contract. It was a blessing in disguise. Sometimes you don't know what's best for you. We were in love with the thought of Juan Soto being a forever Yankee. The baseball gods are like, nah, you guys don't need that.
And also, he's a selfish guy. Yankees aren't built to have selfish guys on their team. There's a fine line between a guy that wants to stand out between a selfish guy, and that showed. That showed in the petty things that he wanted in his mind-blowing contract. We're all yelling out there again, about what an outfielder he is. It doesn't bring anything to the.
Yeah, that was a weak ass throw. That was a weak ass throw on the sack fly. Mike, you're the man. I just got to move it along, and I got to jump in here. Like, oh man, I explained it to you this week why fans were gonna boo, and fans have their own reasons, but it's like, people wanted grace. People wanted us to show some type of class for Juan Soto. He's the same guy that started his campaign in the Yankees clubhouse while his teammates were in pain, while the Yankee universe was in pain. We went from the highest of highs, Judge and Jazz going back-to-back thinking that we're going back to Cali and the World Series was going to continue, and we lost the World Series in terrible fashion, as you know, and this guy was one step closer to money, one step closer to taking Steve Cohen's money, which we knew that too. We didn't want to admit it, though, because we thought, hey, there are some things that are, things that money can't buy. There are things that are more important than money. Like, you want to be a legend? Like, I guess you're going to be one of the best Mets of all time. But, like, man, right now, Juan Soto looks overpaid. Right now, Juan Soto looks like if I'm telling you, if he had the numbers that he has right now and the Yankees gave him that contract and Judge was performing like this, we'd be like, yo, we paid this guy this much more than Judge. Like, it worked out. I am not mad about it. I love it. I love the script. When I wasn't even mad about it, but that Sunday night, I got hit up by two different people to go live. I think New York Post Sports and somebody else, maybe Foul Territory, someone else from the ad. Like, I had a bunch of people hit me up when the thing got decided. It was Sunday night. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to bed. I wasn't really feeling it. And then I got over it pretty quickly because I realized, like, yo, like, you chose to stay in town. Like, this is going to set a hell of a scene. And we got to live it tonight. And the Yankees won. So it's like that too, right? The city being under new management, big brother, little brother, all that talk because Juan Soto chose, right? And they asked Judge about it. Yeah, Juan Soto says he's got a better shot to win in Queens and it's a Mets town. That's his opinion. And all we hear about how the American League is weak. Okay, well, we got one on you. The almighty National League team. 888-808-1019. Calvin in the Bronx where the Yanks just played.
Yo, Keith, what's good, my bro?
What up?
Chilling,
Yeah.
So I got 3 points, man. I met you in the World Series with my daughter. I don't know if you remember. We took a selfie. But we've been talking on Instagram for a couple months now. But whatever. Let me get to my point. I got 2 points. So one thing that I noticed about Soto is every inning, I was in right field, by the way, in Yankee Stadium tonight. Every inning he came out to warm up in between innings, he was the last one out to warm up. I almost feel like he didn't want the smoke from Yankees fans, bro. Like, he literally took one warm-up throw and didn't and the inning started like right.
We've only just begun. What are they going to DH him tomorrow? Yeah, he tonight or today, 105. I'm in there, and like you can't hide. There's nowhere to hide, bro. Come out, be the first one out. Don't try and limit the time. Was he shuffling? I didn't see any shuffles tonight. Did he do this? All those walks, not one shuffle.
Well, I did see him smiling a lot, like on the big screen. I'm like, I haven't seen.
Yeah, smile.
This is weird to me, but all I know is that our Yankees dominated. And then one other thing is, I'm Dominican, so I was sitting in right field and I was yelling. And I send you videos on Instagram, so you'll get to check them out later when you get home.
Yeah.
But I was yelling in Spanish, and I know he heard me.
Some of the stuff I don't think we could say. There was a few the Wavo Mamas. There was a few coming from the bleachers. I can't say them on air, but I know he knows what they mean.
I'm telling you, bro, he heard me loud and clear. My wife got it on video. I send it to you on IG, so you check it out later when you can. But it was awesome. And then once I saw the Yankees were dominating, like around the seventh inning, me and my wife got in the car and we drove down to Madison Square Garden and started celebrating with the Knicks, man.
Amazing to be able to do that. Thanks for the call, Calvin. I'll check you out on Instagram. I'm sure. I'm blessed. I meet a lot of people in the stadium, kids, daughters, sons. I get a ton of love that like just makes me feel great. Honestly, I've been in that stadium dolo. I just had somebody in my chat like, "Oh, you were in the nosebleeds." I'm like, "Are you an idiot?" Like, I've sat in every stadium in Yankees or every section in Yankee Stadium. Shout out to my cousin Hannah, who was at her first game today. So she was in section 412. Love you, Hannah. If you're still in the car, hopefully you got home by now. But like, why was I in the 400 nosebleeds? I'm not above that. I used to buy the cheapest ticket I could get. I'll still easily go sit up there and watch the game. Sometimes I like to be up there with those fans. Sometimes I like to be in the bleachers. I went and sat in my WFAN seat. WFAN has nice seats, but it was crickets over there, bro. I was the loudest one. I'm like, I can't sit here with y'all. Not during this. Man, like Yankee Stadium was turned up, and the anticipation for it, I think it went just about as well as the Yankee fans could want. The only thing that, we left kind of wanting more of was homers. Belly almost got one. I smoked a ton of parlays with no homers, but whatever. We'll be right back at it tomorrow, man. This is fun. Maybe the Mets get some get back tomorrow. Maybe Juan Soto goes off tomorrow, but you can't get that first one back. You can't. Hal is down in AC on the fan. What's up, Hal?
Yo, bro, I'll make it real quick. I know you're blowing up, man. Tonight was an absolute movie. I talked about a dozen things. The Knicks, they dominated. I'm not going to waste no time on that. Soto, no show. You guys can argue about that. You do the big shot of the night. My big shot tonight was Aaron Boone for putting Devin Williams out. I didn't think there was any chance he was going to put Williams out there against Pete Alonso, and he smoked.
It was amazing in there. I left right after that, honestly, because I was like, I literally walked out with my hands in the air because I had to apologize to Devin Williams. I spiraled and panicked on that man. Like, how is he going to ever overcome this? By pitching, by competing, by going out there. You throw them into that. You can't run from your demons. You got to face your demons in life.
They said, the man that they said broken for Boone to throw his sack on the table and put him out there against him tonight, I thought that was huge.
But that's the mentality. Thanks for the call, Hal. We got a break. 888-808-1019. It's not fighting, but like, I don't know. If you've ever shot the fair one, ran somebody's fade, and they get the best of you, and then you come back and you get the best of them, and then you're cool, it's like, yo, like, you have to do that. You got to see me. You got to see me again. We got to square up again. And in the top of the eighth, that pitching changed. Devin Williams comes in, and he struck out Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso struck out looking, and he strikes out Vientos. He strikes out Brandon Nimmo for Devin Williams to get the redemption of, right? And for the Met fan, right, that's another thing y'all told us. Oh, he's broken. Pete Alonso broke him. That's what I'm saying. Tonight couldn't have went like who wrote the script? Clearly, it was a Yankee fan who wrote the script. The Mets versus Yankees. Juan Soto comes back. Juan Soto does nothing really to affect the game. He's clearly affected out there, trying to smile through it. Hey, guys. And Pete Alonso versus Devin Williams. Devin Williams got him. And you know what I had said? Hey, in this series, I'm dodging that. I'm not gonna make him face Devin Williams. I'm shooketh. I'm not the manager, though. I'm not a major league pitcher. Like, what if that is the thing where, like, now Devin Williams really locks in? Like, our bullpen is nasty as hell. These Met fans think we're worried about Soto. You're bugging out. Jonathan Loizaga is back. Devin Williams is back to being the airbender. Luke Weaver's ready to go no matter what. He's a psychopath. And, like, everything's turning up pretty good this early part of the season, man. I had a lot of fun in there tonight. I'm not going to sleep tonight because I'm going right back tomorrow. 888-808-1019. Plenty of calls to take. Plenty of more conversation around the New York Knicks, the New York Yankees, and the New York Mets. Keith McPherson on the Fan in New York, BRB. Man, this shit fun, bro. It's fun. Y'all wanted to address this goofy I got out the paint. Check me out. First off, I like to lead with never met a hater. I meet people at the stadium. I met a bunch of people at the stadium tonight. I meet people at the stadium all the time. I'm in New York. I'm walking the streets. I'm on the trains. I'm uptown. I'm downtown. I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in Harlem. I'm in the Bronx for years. Never have I met a hater. So this guy already got out of the paint, but I see in the chat, let me scroll back. Corny Keith, what up, dog? You're in my chat. Who's corny? Like, you're in my chat at 11:56 p.m. on a Friday night. Who's corny, beloved? Google Keith McPherson Monmouth if you need a laugh. You just told everybody you Googled me and my college. Anybody else that wants to do this exercise? I went to Monmouth University. I had a football scholarship. I went to Monmouth University and I majored in radio and television. Football paid for me to get right here. What are you doing? Talking about Soto tipped his helmet like y'all a joke. He was laughing all night like y'all soft. You were watching from the crib. I was in 203. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You can't, like, what are you saying? What are you saying, bro? I had to get him out of the paint. Your ceiling is mid. We can't even see your face or name. I'm the nicest guy. I try to help people. Every person I meet, I shake their hand. I ask them what's their name, where they're from. Thank you. Appreciate you. Everybody that's in here watching me, even if you hate my guts, thank you. You could do anything else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1234. Make a wish. I wish for all of you to be able to live the dreams that I am living. I dreamed of nights like this. I dreamed of opportunities like this. I'm getting paid for this. I'm getting paid for this. Like, this is my job, bro. This has enabled me to do so many things. Talking. I'm sitting here talking, bro. I just came from the stadium. This is on my YouTube. I know it's also on Twitter, right? I get paid. My Twitter is monetized. Elon cuts me a direct deposit every month. I get paid off YouTube. YouTube is cutting me a direct deposit. I have turned my passion into my profession. I am living a dream. So maybe my ceiling is mid in your eyes, in your estimation. But Lord willing, if I keep on living, I'm going to be able to take care of my wife. I'm going to be able to take care of my son, take care of my mom by being a sports fan and doing what I went to college to do, what I dreamed of doing when I was a kid. So, yeah, if you want to Google Keith McPherson for a laugh, the joke is on you. I can't Google you. I don't know you. I don't know your name. I couldn't pick you out of a lineup. Anyway, Just a little sidebar, right? I can't do this on the radio. This is for the stream only. Salute. Reminded me of when NYPD turned their backs on Merida. How happy is Joe Beningo right now? He's asleep. Yeah, that's another thing too. I was seeing, aren't you a Nets fan? And let me see, somebody else said something like that. You guys got to learn the game. Bro, I thought you were Nets fans. Why are you celebrating the ops? I'm at work. Do you think these people, the phone is blinking nonstop? I haven't had one segment without full calls. I can't even show you the screen. Do you think these people care that I'm a Nets fan when the Knicks just went to the Eastern Conference Finals? You know how dumb I would have to be to come in here and be like, come on, yo. This is my job. This is New York. This is the greatest city in the world. There's hundreds of thousands of people listening. What would be a better show? Me to pump up the city and the history that the New York Knicks made, or me to talk about the 8th pick in the upcoming NBA draft? Y'all can't be that bright. Y'all can't. It's mad simple, bro. It's mad simple, bro. Mad simple, bro. Like, people, like, this is not my podcast. I used to do the Nets podcast. I was getting paid for that too when I worked with John Boy. I don't work for John Boy anymore. My bosses don't care about my podcast. My bosses are texting me saying, keep it up. Good. My bosses are throwing in random Knicks. My bosses are telling me the flow is great. The calls are great. This is great. Nobody wants to hear about the Nets, bro. All right, let me see. Yeah, bro. Buddy was talking about till you guys figure out a pitching lab. What an idiot. Tyler McGill got to go back to the lab. Diaper fund. Hector throwing money for the diaper fund. Yo, my cousin popped in here. Kurt, you know, bro. Kurt, man, I don't know the last time I saw you, but I remember at my brother's funeral, you know, everybody was asking me like what I was up to, what I was doing. I was working at MTV at the time. And I remember just being so distraught and grieving and hurt. And I remember telling everybody then that like didn't know what I was up to, what I was doing. I was like, give me a couple years. You'll know. I won't be hard to find. Give me a couple years and I'm going to make it. Call my shit. All right, let's rock. Yeah, that works. New York, we still awake, the city that never sleeps. The Knicks are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Subway Series is upon us. The Yankees took the first one, and we got another one coming up at 1:05. Your nighttime host, Keith McPherson, on the Fan, taking your calls at 888-808-1019. I'm going to run out of time, so let's get right back to it. Up north, Montreal. Tony, you're back on the Fan.
Keith, happy to be in the middle of summer and the Knicks Nation. I shout out to them from Montreal. I'm actually super happy for you guys. The way you guys were describing the Bronx crowd, where you had the Yankee hats and the Mets hats, and guys were cheering the same Knicks team. I think that's really cool. And the enthusiasm I'm hearing from all the guys calling in and yourself reminds me of the run that the Raptors made, and my kids actually loved that run. It was amazing, and I can feel that.
Yeah.
Enthusiasm.
You just made me think of something, Tony. And I don't mean to cut you off, but like as I'm looking at the videos out on 7th Ave, and like now that it's done, not like, you know, the Knicks won a game, 2 games, 3 games. Like now that it's actually done and the Knicks have clinched, like the scene that we are seeing in New York, it looks like when other cities mob their cities and streets and take over the town and like party into the night. Like these videos look like when the Eagles win the Super Bowl, or like, you know, kind of like you were saying up there in Canada. Like they're, you know, when you see the mob of people like outside where the Toronto Maple Leafs play, like now New York has their scene. Now New York has their, like, you know, thousands of Knicks fans dancing together, climbing the light poles, burning stuff. Like it has happened.
Well, you know what? It was a big show in Toronto because, you know, you mentioned Toronto, and they actually pulled one out of their hats because they beat Florida down in Florida and go to Game 7, and the whole city is upside down. Like, I mean, really upside down. That's what's good about spring or like summertime now. Like when you have basketball and hockey going on, it's unbelievable. It's a sports fan's complete. You know, it's a dream. It's a dream. It's like, and what you're saying is true, because in Montreal, you know, we won a couple of Stanley Cups. We're at 24, and you guys are at how many? The Yankees are at 27.
Yeah,
we've seen some Stanley Cup parades when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was a regular thing. Not so regular these days. But I just want to say another thing. You and I had a conversation when the Soto thing was going down, and I told you Soto's contract was gluttony, and you agreed with that. And you said so for Soto. And I say so again. You said it, and I'm going to repeat it. But I'm going to tell you something. When he left, I said, and I'm not an expert. I just said, you know what? Maybe it's good that he left. Maybe the guys will pick up, because the Yankees have the best player in baseball. Well, as far as I'm concerned, Judge. You know, there's Ohtani and different players. But when Judge is the captain of the team, he has the demeanor of a Yankees captain. He's not a selfish guy. And another caller said he was selfish, just like he didn't celebrate the Alonso home run. And, or I don't know if it was a home run, but he brought him home. And what I'm saying is, you know what? You're right. You're 100% right. The team, the Yankees, I think we're better off. And if, you know something, Keith, if I'm on a team and a player that I played with turns his back on my team and leaves my team to go to another junior team, guess what? He was enemy number 1 to me. And I'm sorry. If you leave me, I'm not your buddy anymore.
Yeah.
I'm wishing you well, but not against me.
It's simple, Tony. Thank you for the call. It's simple, but you know, since Mets fans and Yankee fans have to agree to disagree, the Met fan has to complicate it, right? I remember John Carlos Stanton saying, you know, the media asked him, Stan, what's your message to Juan Soto? His message, like to Juan Soto, was stay with us. Just stay with us, man. This is a guy that's made $325 million, big contract, a guy that, you know, people want to leave him out when they talk about how the Yankees got to the World Series. He was the ALCS MVP. He literally won them a game with his homer in the DS, but whatever. You know, the disconnect, and I get it, because a lot has popped up about, oh, he was traded to the Bronx. He didn't want to go there. He was forced there. Yeah, that was the Yankees trying to like show him, hey, this is what it is. Like trying to have a leg up in the game. There is no leg up in the game. And you know what? Congrats to Juan Soto. He signed the biggest contract in history, but he's not that. That was the Mets having to overpay to win the player, to take the player from the Yankees. That bidding war, I know, hand up, I was on the fan. I'm like, man, Ohtani makes $700. Ohtani is 2 players. Judge is making $40 million a year. He's a better right fielder than Juan Soto. He's a better player by a lot. Now we're getting out of control because of this guy's age, because of what he's done. Now we're getting to a ridiculous point. This guy's going to make over $800 million, and congratulations to the Mets, because Steve Cohen is a billionaire that money's not going to matter to at all, and it's not going to stop him from building his team. And with David Stearns, it's not going to stop you guys at all from being successful. The biggest thing was you had to overspend to get the player. he would have remained a Yankee. But everything happens for a reason. Universe never unconnects. Like Juan Soto had 1 year with the Yankees, and like through the whole process, like he didn't talk to one of his former teammates. He couldn't get on the phone with Judge. Judge couldn't get in touch. However it played out, it was just so clear that, yeah, this Yankees thing was just a stop here. And sure, you could bid for me, but we all know the richest owner in the sport will not be deterred, will not be outbid. I'm going to go be a Met. So I'm willing again, 4 teams, to join a 4th team and take on the entire Yankee fan base in the city and live here amongst Yankee fans. Like, what did you expect, bro? Anthony's in Wantagh on the fan. What's up, Ant?
What's going on, Keith? How you doing?
Great, man.
So, as a Yankees fan, I knew the assignment from day one when we got Soto. It was a rental, and, there was a chance we could keep him, or there was a good chance he was going somewhere else. And I think, like, tonight, the big thing was we had to get game one. Because since the day he signed with the Mets fans have been big brother this, who's little brother now. They really kind of brought this out more than Yankee fans. Yankees went back to business and made a complete team. We look back at last year's run to the playoffs and to the World Series. We had so many holes defensively in that lineup, where tonight those guys came through. Goldschmidt, Belly, Williams coming out of the pen. They won that game tonight. And, if the Yankees had lost tonight and won, tomorrow and Sunday, it's not as big a statement as them coming out tonight and taking game one and those guys really being the difference to show, like, hey, listen, you left. You didn't want to be a part of this. I think as fans, we look at it more like, how do you not want to be a part of this? Like, he was sitting there during Old Timers Day, and this could have been your future. You could have your number retired. You could be one of the all-time great Yankees, playing with Judge. Who knows, maybe win a couple of World Series. But he didn't want that, and it was plain to all of us after Game 5 of the World Series, hat back.
It was always a strict money game. The highest bidder wins, and the richest owner in the sport made the highest bid. Thanks for the call and dropping the knowledge, Anthony. It's simple, man. I think this one tonight, there's so many other things too. Like, I just put together like the homegrown Yankees. As many people like act like the Yankees don't have homegrown talent. And as Hal Steinbrenner told you this offseason, after offering $760 million to Juan Soto, told you, I don't think you have to spend the most money to have a good team. But basically what he was saying is you need balance. Dominguez had an RBI tonight. Peraza had an RBI tonight. Volpe had an RBI tonight. Yorbit Vivas had a hit. Oh, Yorbit Vivas story. And this is from the bleachers. Roll call. It was so loud in there. The roll call, the players couldn't hear the roll call. And part of the roll call, like the rules or like the way that the roll call rolls on, is you get the acknowledgement from the player and then you continue. Now, Bellinger acknowledged his roll call, but it was like a very light, like you could tell these guys were focused, dialed in, and it was loud in there. I'm sure, like, if you ever been on the field and Yankee Stadium, I can't imagine, like, you can't really, even though it is, it's coming, you can't really hear it. Yorbit Vivas. And shout out to the Cowboy man, and shout out to Mark and everybody. Yorbit Vivas, I'm like, this kid has to be pissing himself. This kid's got to be essing bricks right now. He's in the Subway Series. He's a whole rookie. He's been with the team for a couple of weeks. This is his first month with the team. We're trying to get the Yorbit Vivas. Yorbit Vivas. He's not acknowledging it. He's not turning around. I'm turning around to Mark, who leads the roll call, like, yo, move on. Move on. He can't hear it. I led the roll call in 2022 when the Astros came back. Like, I started it. I yelled out. And the nervous feeling I had that day, that game, because I'm like, they're not going to hear us. Because when the Astros came back for the first time that season, it was boo, F out too. It was ridiculous. So today, I'm like, Yorbit Vivas was not thinking about saluting a roll call. He was not even listening for it. He was probably just in another world. He was probably blacked out. I'm like, we got to move the roll call along. It was crazy. It was a wild atmosphere, from the turning our backs to all the chants to the amount of people that were breaking out in the boos and the F1 Sotos. It was, I don't know, it was a real light. Like, if you dreamed of the scene, It was better than whatever you were imagining and dreaming of. Tom is in Mayapack on the Fan. What's up, Tom?
Brother.
Good.
No, Keith. Yeah, big Nick win tonight. Listen, I wanted to just say one thing. I listen to you every night, and I enjoy your show so much. I really do. But I just wanted to know, why is it that I'm a little confused here, where you say, well, first of all, I'm a Mets fan. Okay, so we'll get that out of the way. But why is it that you say the Yankees are better without Soto?
The lineup is deeper. They're putting up better numbers than they were last year. The defense is better. Judge is playing right field, not Soto. Judge is also not in center field. You have either Bellinger or Grisham in center field. Like,
correct, 100%. And then you say about you're glad he didn't take the money, so you're appreciative that he didn't take the cut. So why are you turning your back on him? And bullying him.
Easy. One, that's the theatrics of the stadium. That was all an act. That was all for show. And two, yeah, but what are we supposed to do? How do we express the team is better? We don't need you.
No, but so you don't need him. So why are you unhappy? Like, why are you ticked off of him?
Why are we ticked off? We've been going over this for a long time. And I'm one person. I can't speak for everybody, but I just went through song or chapter and verse about what we view the Yankees as, and the fact that he was a Yankee and he was here, and none of that mattered to him. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine.
You a favor now?
Listen, thanks for the call, Tom. Yeah, he did us a favor. Did I want him to stay with the Yankees? Yeah. Did I think he was going to stay with the Yankees? Yeah. The fact that he's not with the Yankees anymore and it's turned out like this, can't predict the future. This is a silver lining. It's turned out a lot better than we thought. I remember listening to Big Mac's show after mine. He would say, Plan B sucks. And I was like, yeah, Plan B sucks until you keep going down the line with the plan. And then you see, like, in theory, it sucks. But, like, you know what sucks? Losing Garrett Cole. I miss Garrett Cole. I don't miss Juan Soto. But you lose Garrett Cole, and because you didn't sign Juan Soto, you can sign Max Fried for 8 years. Worked out. There's a phrase that I got to figure out the phrase. Maybe I can chat GPT it. It's not silver lining. It's when, things work out for you. It's like not a blessing in disguise. When something that you want, you don't get, and it's for your own benefit. It's for your own good. The Mets needed Juan Soto more than the Yankees. The party that the Met fan had for months until now, and really even until the season started, because I guess, the thought was Juan Soto was going to hit 300 and blast home runs and come through with runners in scoring position and be all world because of the money. The Yankee fan is looking on the bright side of things, and it's like, hey, we kind of dodged one. That contract, I wouldn't have wanted to be saddled with that contract for 16 years. Let's go even deeper, right? Somebody was going back and forth with me today about, Judge and Soto, and the fact that Soto said, in 6-7 years, the Yankees aren't going to be good. Yeah, they are. They're always good, and they're always looking ahead. And I just told you about the homegrown. 6-7 years from now, those homegrown guys, some of them will still be here. George Lombard Jr. probably be here. Some other young guys, whether it's Spencer Jones or somebody we're not thinking of, or whoever they sign, that they're going to be able to sign because they're not paying Juan Soto $50 million a year. But what I said to this person was, okay, in 6-7 years, right, Judge is done. Who becomes a full-time DH first, Juan Soto or Aaron Judge? 888-808-1019. Call me up and tell me who's playing in the field longer, Aaron Judge at 33 or Juan Soto at 26? Might be even. might be pretty close. Might be the next 4 years. By the time Juan Soto is 30, by the time Judge is 37, they might be both DHs at the same time. And isn't that fun? Isn't this grand that we have this one player between this rivalry now to look at and to measure things? Isn't this fun that every series and as the years go on, if the Mets don't win a World Series or even get to one with Juan Soto, we can always harken back to, hey, the 1 year he was a Yankee, he put up the best numbers of his career. The 1 year he was a Yankee, they got to the World Series. We gave up Michael King, Kyle Higashioka, Drew Thorpe. Kyle Higashioka and Drew Thorpe aren't on the Padres anymore. Randy Vasquez, Johnny Brito. Okay. The Yankees could sign Michael King again. And then we got Trent Grisham. And when Trent Grisham's contract's up, you know where he's probably going to want to try and sign? You know where he's probably going to want to be? In New York, not Flushing, the Bronx. Keith McPherson on the Fan. 1 hour to go. Call me up. We'll be right back. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, bro. What I'm trying to think, bro. Chat GPT. What's it called when you want something and you don't get it and it's better for you? Blessing in disguise, serendipity, maybe. Chat GPT, they don't know either. And I got people texting me too. Let's see. Mo from the Bleachers says, there are two tragedies in life. The first is not getting what you want. The second is getting it. Yeah, listening to your show, I think this may, I'll use that. But it's something else. Like, I don't know how to phrase it. But it's not a figure of speech. It's something that people say. It's like, maybe it's something with God, like, when you pray for something and like God doesn't answer your prayers, but he like gives you other things. I'm blanking on it. It's late. But like that's how I feel about Juan Soto. Because like the Yankee fan, I would say 90% of Yankee fans were like, we have to re-sign this guy. Even Hal Steinbrenner, because like, come on, bro. $760 million. I didn't think Hal was going that far. I think back to that time in the winter meetings, it was like, yo, we have to sign this guy because like, how do we get back to what if we never get back to the World Series? How do we ever duplicate what we just saw? Like, it's been 15 years and like, look at the season Judge had winning MVP. Juan Soto was third in MVP. Yo, we got to run that back for the next X amount of years. Judge is going to age out. We need Juan Soto, but damn, you can't always get what you want. Maybe that's it. You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you might find you get what you need. I think that's what I was thinking of. I'm going to say that on air. So, excuse me. I have a lot of fun by myself. I'm a middle child. I have plenty of time in my own thoughts and in my own spaces. That just tickled me. I'm trying to phrase this for these people because like these Mets fans are confused. They're mad. Like they're mad that Soto's return. You got one shot at Soto's return. He didn't win the game for them. He didn't hit a 5-run home run. He worked his walks. It was what Juan Soto does. Pete Alonso was supposed to come through, but Pete Alonso got struck out by Devin Williams, his daddy, who he broke. Like you couldn't have scripted that better. That Bellinger, that Goldie, that Devin Williams, guys that didn't play with Juan Soto last year that got added to this team, like those guys played major factors. And then all those, three of the young homegrown players, Dominguez, Peraza, Volpe, they all drive in runs, and then Yorbit Vivas gets a hit. It's like, hey, we're all right. This seems all right without Juan Soto. So when I come back, I'll hit him with a couple of those. Let's see. Is there anybody in the chat that Amber says, am I the odd one out thinking that we should be cheering on our guys rather than give? Were you at the game? Did you hear the game? Like, did you hear the cheers when Paul Goldschmidt made that catch? You would think that was a game-winning catch. Like, did you hear you probably couldn't hear the roll call because it was so loud in there. Like, when I left after Devin Williams struck out the side because I was like, holy shit. I literally walked out of the section with my hands in the air. I'm like, that went differently than I thought. And like, if Devin Williams is locked back in now, like, he struck out Pete Alonso, he struck out Viento, like, bruh. So like, it isn't so much that like we're giving all our energy to Soto. We got plenty of energy. Wait, you're gonna see the same thing at 105. You're gonna see the same thing on Sunday Night Baseball. There'll be different fans in there. When Judge comes up, you didn't hear the MVP chants?
Good morning at 1 o'clock. I'm Marco Belletti. Well, everything on the line for the Knicks, and they left no doubt. Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, each with 23. Mikal Bridges, 22. Karl Anthony Towns, 21 points, 12 rebounds. Josh Hart, a triple-double. And the Knicks disposed of the Celtics, 119-81. Sean Grandy, the call of Celtics Radio Network. First trip to the conference finals since 2000 for the Knicks. Brunson and the Knicks also able to close the series at the Garden for the first time since 1999. Knicks, Pacers, game 1 at the Garden, Wednesday night. Carlos Rodon worked around 4 walks, spanned 5 over 5 innings, a 1-run ball as the Yankees bounced the Mets 6-2. Paul Goldschmidt drove in 2. Anthony Volpe, Jason Dominguez each knocked in a run. Cody Bellinger had his first 3-hit night since March 29th, while Tyler McGill struggled. 4 runs, 4 hits, 5 walks over 2 2/3. For Juan Soto, 0 for 2, 3 walks in his return to the Bronx. He heard the boos all night, including tipping his cap to the fans during his first at-bat. $64 degrees, cloudy skies, Central Park, and that's happening. I'm Marco Belletti.
This goes out to you and you and you and you, wherever you are listening. Thanks for listening. Keith McPherson on the Fan. Let's get back into it. Hoff is coming up next. I got 50 minutes. So I was, in the live chat and also checking my text, trying to figure out, I'm like, what's this like thing that I'm thinking of? Shout out to my boy Mo from the Bleachers. He says, there are 2 tragedies in life. The first is not getting what you want. The second is getting it. That's an Oscar Wilde quote. And I think that prompted me to where I think what I might have had in my head. I think I had in my head, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you might find you get what you need. That's Juan Soto. That's Yankee fans and Juan Soto. That's the New York Yankees and Juan Soto. I remember being on air saying, I know Brian Cashman did not want to pay that man that much money. I know Brian Cashman did not want to give $700. Brian Cashman will retire before Juan Soto retires. I know Brian Cashman did not want to be saddled with having to figure out how to get this team back to the World Series, how to win a World Series in this closing window of Giancarlo Stanton, Garrett Cole, Aaron Judge, and be saddled with how much money we would have to pay a very good hitter that in a few years will be a DH. That's not being salty. That's not coping. That's being real. This is the reality. He's one of the best hitters, but you know what? Baseball is hard. Even the best hitters fail. Even the best hitters don't get a pitch that they want to hit. They take their base and can be left on base. So, yeah, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you might find you get what you need. The Yankees got what they needed. We thought we wanted Juan Soto, needed Juan Soto. Nah, you needed some pitching. You needed a strong bullpen. You needed a deeper lineup and better defense. And I'm laughing because there is help on the way. Yo, Jazz was out there. Y'all saw Jazz fielding. Jazz will be back. Stanton is just chilling somewhere because he's like, y'all don't really need me. You guys need me in October when I can be dialed in and hit home runs. Lowe came back. Scott Efros is coming back. Kirk Cousins' cousin is coming back. DJ will be in the lineup today, I believe. Not that it's much help, but like help is on the way. And the trade deadline. Oh, yeah. The Yankees can add it the trade deadline. So you guys trying to go back to the World Series? You guys want to go to back-to-back World Series? Maybe win it this year? Maybe bring a parade back to the town? Maybe the Knicks do that. Get your popcorn ready because here comes Popcorn Rob from Babylon.
Buddy, and you know I'm one of your I'm one of your day ones, bro.
I know.
You know something, hey Keith, forget about enough of the Juan Soto. Because you know what? It seems like it's like a broken relationship. Listen, you know what?
All right, I won't talk about Juan Soto anymore. I'll leave that to Hoff. And then everybody else at WFAN forever and ever and ever.
I love you more, and yo, Keith, and you know I love you more, but I'm gonna give it to you raw. It seemed like you broke up with one of them your girlfriends, man.
Nah, I always had girls, bro. I never been dumped. I broke up with every girl I ever been with, straight up.
The way you display it.
Now I had some girls I couldn't bag. I had some girls that thought they were like either too fine or I had somebody else with more money or something else. Like I had some girls that I chased that I couldn't, but every girl I ever dated, I ended up calling it quits.
I believe that, Keith. But you know, I'm saying, because I always say this, Keith, that you have to rely on sometimes you gotta go to that farm and you gotta go and give these little gifts. You know, give him a shot, see what he got. One of those deals, man. Like let some of these kids. Remember, I always used to say that, man. Let some of these kids come up, man, because the only way that you're gonna get recognized if you get an opportunity. And so some of these guys are getting opportunities, man. You know, we can't be chasing down everything that, you know, everything that's expensive is not always the best.
The Yankees have a future with young guys that are playing right now this year more than ever. The Ben Rices, Austin Wells, Anthony Volpe, Oswald Peraza, Yorbit Vivas, Will Warren, Oswaldo Cabrera, heal up. Clark Schmidt is going to be on the mound. Clark Schmidt is still young.
Right, and see, that was always my point, Keith, about going around taking, you know, okay, Aaron Judge, he did, you know, I beg to differ, you know, of what the things that I was saying. You remember, I was hard on him when, you know, that was actually, you know, during the time when you first came on board, man. I've been on the fan since 1998. That's when the first person I could call was Joe Beningo. That was my first time calling. And you know, I spoke to Mike in the Mad Dog, and I know the history of of this sports radio station, the fan, man. And so, I'm a long time fan, man, and I'm always give it to you, you know, the way at least okay, I feel comfortable with saying stuff like that because I know Keith ain't gonna take it like, you know, I'm trying to.
Nah, not at all, not at all. Thanks for the call, Rob. Like I just like I like talking about sports. I like talking about all this. I let people talk. I don't think that, you know, what I have to say is more important than you, but like I am flying the plane. I am controlling the buttons and stuff. So I'm going to get my point across first. It's simple, man. And we don't have to mention Juan Toto, but like, do you understand? Like it's not me. It's not my obsession. This is everywhere. This is not going away. This is the highest paid player in the sport. He was a Yankee. He's a Met. Maybe it'll fade in a couple years, but I don't even think it's going to fade in a couple years. It's forever. Which I want to talk about. Starlin Marte, 0 for 4, 2 Ks. No? All right, then. Like the conversation is around Juan Soto's return to Yankee Stadium. Y'all want to talk about Tyler McGill? Walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it out. 5 walks. The conversation is around Juan Soto returning to Yankee Stadium, the scene that Yankee fans provided, and the way that the Yankees won the game with players that did not play with Juan Soto last year. Young Yankees contributing. And the Yankees pretty much going up 4-0. And then they would win by 4 runs. And that game was, Mets fans were in there locked in on the Knicks. That's one. I think it was more important for the Yankees to get the first one. The Yankees were swept last year. We're not getting swept this year in the regular season, which, whatever. Got swept in the regular season by the Mets last year, went to the World Series. Got one. Not swept this year. And again, it was Juan Soto's first game as a Met in Yankee Stadium, where he was standing in right field for the Yankees last year. You can minimize it. You can try and point to fans and say that we're obsessed or like it's just no. It's the topic. It is. It's been the topic for months. 888-808-1019. I mean, I'd rather talk to y'all about the Knicks and what was going on in Madison Square Garden because I wasn't there. I was looking on my phone and I'm still looking at videos and I'm like, this is great. This is great for the city. This is great for Knicks fans. Oh, yeah. Let's go to Will in Fairfield, Connecticut. What's up, Will?
Thank you, man. It's been awesome listening to you over the last, I don't know, for me, like last year or two, but last time I called fans about 20 years ago. So,
welcome back.
Thank you, man. I mean, it's been bad for your sports, right? I mean, I think I was in like Garden tonight and interesting dynamic, right? Like the 30-point win and thought we were all like kind of like nervous for the game, but Nick showed up, so absolutely did not. So cool to see us back in it like 25 years after, we were making waves. So really fun to be back in it. I don't know what we got lying next to us next year, or next round, but I wanted to talk a bit about Nick and a little bit about Soto. I don't know, move on with all the Soto chat. Interesting thing I wanted to ask you is, we talk about like Soto leaving for money, this and that, but like it was $5 million different, right? And like
no, it wasn't, and we got to stop saying it was $5 million difference because the escalators where he can opt out and they can raise the AAV. The grand total of the Mets contract is over $800 million. The Yankees did not structure their contract that way. There also was a bigger signing bonus. There also was a suite included for 15 years. There also was a clothing allowance for his mother, security detail, and premium tickets. All of that costs. The MLB, they're factoring that in. Like it was a much larger contract where, sure, that's and the argument of like anybody would have taken the better deal. Yeah, we're not faulting him for that. Like it was a much bigger, larger, greater deal.
I mean, that's a really good point. I was at trying to pull that to you, right? Like, get a stock like the down low, right? Like in my head, it's like $5 million and a family suite. This and that. Do you get a stock like the background? Like, what's a bit deeper in the contract? Like, what it really means?
It also, the Yankees gave him $760 for 16 years. The Mets were $765 for 15 years.
Yeah, that's your point. That's a good point. Here's what I'll say. Been a Mets fan for a long time. It's nice to see us back in the ring. But what I will say is I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Let's move on. We got the Celtics, unfortunate for Tatum. He's a great player and really think he's like, a great face in the sport. But like, what are we thinking about for the next round? I mean, the Garden was interesting tonight because it was like, we were all hyped up and they got a lead out quick, right? We had a large lead and, now I'm interested in like, what do we think we're up against next? And we have some shots to really get there.
I honestly can't wait. Thanks for the call, Will. I can't wait for this series to start. I think the Pacers are going to be a tough challenge. I think the series probably goes 7 again. If you're a Knicks fan and you go to bed tonight, pray for health. Pray that the Knicks stay healthy because they're going to need all of their healthy bodies against this Pacers team. But what I'll also say about the Pacers is they played the Cavs, and the Cavs didn't have DeAndre Hunter healthy the whole time, Evan Mobley healthy the whole time, Darius Garland healthy the whole time. Even Spider was, Donovan Mitchell was affected. So, like, I can give them credit, and I think the Pacers are so whack. I don't like anything about them. I don't like their uniforms. I don't like their alternate uniforms. I don't like their Gainbridge Fieldhouse. I don't like their fans. I don't like Tyrese Halliburton. I don't like his goofy ass dad. I definitely can't stand Miles Turner. I don't like anything about them. Bro, his outfits and the way he talks and some of the things that he says, bro, he's just a clown, bro. I'm sorry. TJ McConnell, get TJ McConnell all the way out of the NBA. I am not. No. I guess Obi Toppin is cool, but like, I don't know. As a Net fan, I know you're a Net fan too. I think about playing them over the last few years and some of the guys that they got. I like Spicy P. Spicy P kind of still a new pacer to me. But all I'm going to say going into the series with the Knicks is this will be a tough test for the Pacers because you got to play a healthy Knicks team that just went through some battles, and a healthy Knicks team with a city behind them that, like, New Yorkers are on 10,000 right now. New Yorkers are hungry right now. They're like, they want more. Now, we got to the Eastern Conference Finals. We can go to the finals. We can host the final. We got home court advantage. And I just said I think the series goes 7. Are you kidding me? A game 7 in the Garden to go to the finals? 888-808-1019. Now, what I'll say about the Pacers as well is all those boys play and all those boys run. I had a call with Joe Vardon the other night, and he says he thinks it's going to be a bad matchup for the Knicks because the Knicks don't have a bench. But I don't think it's going to be a bad matchup for the Knicks because the Knicks are conditioned. So I don't care about the pace of the Pacers or, you know, how they run up and down the floor, how they'll press, how they're always looking for an outlet. They're always trying to throw the ball. They're trying to, you know, score in transition, stuff like whatever. And like, you know, and like I wanted this because I want to hear Wally Zerbiak talk about Tyrese Halliburton. I want them to be in the same arena, look at each other. Tyrese Halliburton and this constant talk about, you know, giving him his respect and not being over. Like, bro, you were a top pick. You've been an all-star. We put respect on the Pacers. Didn't they go to the NBA Cup and then the Eastern Conference Finals last year? Like, I don't know who's really disrespected him or the Pacers, but they're corny as hell. I don't think. And Reggie Miller, there's nothing about them I like, bro. There's nothing about them I like. Caitlin Clark. Let's go to Jeremy out on Long Beach on the Fan. What's up, Jeremy?
Hey, how's it going, man? So tonight can be all about the Knicks, and I feel like Yankee fans are such whiners when it comes to Soto. Like, just looking at your Twitter, man, all your tweets and replies are Soto, Soto, Soto. You're gonna say you're over him? Like, you guys are trying to say, like, we don't need you, we don't need you. Well, you're gonna need him if you are in the playoffs, because Judge is only hitting 205.
Okay. Thanks for the call, Jeremy. Thanks for looking at my Twitter. I don't know. Go keep looking at my Twitter. Elon Musk sends me about $50-$60 a month off of those views and whatnot. And like, I used to be a social media manager, so I lean into it. I know what the narrative is. I know what the storyline is. And it was Juan Soto. My bad. You wanted me to talk about Alonso coming to Yankee Stadium again? Was I silly me? I should have leaned into Luis Angel Acuna's first game in Yankee Stadium and tweeted all about that. I don't know what I was thinking, man. I don't know what I should have talked about Max Kranick. Max Kranick being a Met fan his whole life, getting a pitch in Yankee Stadium in the Subway Series. He was getting flashbacks to Yankee fans bullying him his whole life. I should have talked about Max Kranick on my Twitter. What a missed opportunity for me. No, as I look at my own tweets, hella views. Thanks. This money's going to go to the diaper fund. As I'm live on Twitter right now, 1,869 views. Like, what are y'all talking about, bro? You feed the beast. You play the hits. This was Juan Soto night. This was build. I had Foul Territory use a Keith McPherson clip with me talking about Juan Soto today. Whistle Sports use a Keith McPherson clip. Shout out to Eric in Bayville. Used it. Like, there was nothing else to do. There was nothing else to talk about. There was nothing else to post about. Marte. So I should have. Marte got the DH today. I should have been on Starling Marte. Y'all trip me out, man. Jarvis is in Harlem. What's up, Jarvis? Jarvis, this is the second time, bro. This is your second time and your last time, bro. This is your second time and last time falling asleep on me. I knew it this time, and I didn't let you go full Darth Vader. Kathy is in Bayville, and I know Kathy is awake and excited to join us and has something good to say.
Wrap me up with all your comments about even uniforms and stuff.
I think it's funny. This is entertainment. No, I think this is supposed to be like, yeah, I don't know.
All right, so anyway, what a great night, New York.
Yeah.
I think I know why we, the Yankees, said we don't want Juan Soto. We're glad we don't have him anymore. And the reason is because when he was a Yankee, we thought of him as a Yankee, and he should have cherished the franchise for its name and grandeur and knowing that it is the Yankees. So he left and he turned his back on the Yankees. That's all I can say. And that's why we don't want him today. We wanted him when he was a Yankee and he was going to stay a Yankee. But when somebody turns their back on you and acts like they're the greatest or whatever it may be and goes for the money, you know what kind of person that is now. And that person we don't want on the Yankees.
Yeah, now I'm starting to think differently about it, Kathy. Like, we brought him into our house. We gave him a free room and food and treated him like family. And you know what he said? Your house isn't that nice. I don't want to be a part of your family. I think it's nicer over there. Okay, you go over there then, and we'll treat you as such.
And he is not the person we wanted him to be or thought he would be. And
nah. And not even taking that all, aside, right? Shout out to Oswaldo Cabrera. He wrote about how Volpe and Judge came to the hospital to visit him. And when Oswaldo went down last week, it seemed like everyone on the Yankees was really hurt by it. And I've been around Oswaldo and no one has a bad thing to say about him. There's genuine love for that guy in there. Juan Soto strikes me as a guy that was always business, was always here today and gone tomorrow, was always about himself and his brand and how much money he was going to make in free agency. And he never actually really established any type of bond with any of the Yankees because he knew. And even Judge said something along the lines of yeah, it seems like that's where he wanted to be. Come on, that's Judge telling you he didn't really want to be with us, and that's okay. But what everyone has to understand is these two things can coexist. It's okay for him to take the most money and want to be a Met, and it's okay for people to hate him for it. It's okay for Yankee fans to be like, yo, we don't like you. You're with the we already don't like the Mets. So what?
I know. I'm the only one on my block that's a Yankee fan. It's terrible.
Well, hey, hold it down, Kathy. Thanks for the call. 888-808-1019. That's what I said on my Twitter too. As you guys continue to peruse, follow. Make sure you follow. I'm about to have 41,000 followers on there. As I was out there today in Yankee land, where I've been 1,000 times, and I'm seeing Mets jersey after Mets jersey, I couldn't help myself. But every Met fan I saw, I said, boo. I'm like, they wonder if we're going to boo Juan Soto. We're booing every Met fan we see. We're booing every Met fan that is entering our bars and our streets and our sections. It's what we do. It's a rivalry. It did not start with me. It will not end with me. It started long before me and will continue long after I'm gone. 888-808-1019. Juan Soto just added this extra juice to it. Juan Soto has added let's go back. Juan Soto as a player in Major League Baseball, I was a huge fan of. I'm not a fan of him now. Honestly, he owes me some money. All that money he's making, I've wasted $500 betting on Juan Soto this year. Not even gonna lie. If I actually posted, I think on my last Instagram carousel I threw on it, I have bet so much money on Juan. I'm done. Today I'm done. If he hits homers, in these next two games, I don't care. Because I put so much money on Juan Soto thinking that now Juan Soto is a Met. He's home. He's a Met for the rest of his career. At any moment now, he's going to go off. And I've missed on the 2 homer games. I've missed on, a few times. And I don't know. Something's up with Juan Soto. Something's up with Juan Soto. But I don't rock with you. It's just that simple. I'm a Yankee fan. I came up in Yankee Stadium. I'm not a Met fan. I don't know what y'all want from me, bro. It's very simple, but we're making it extra complicated. This is not rocket science. This is simple math. 1 + 1 does equal 2 here. He chose to be if he would have went to the Boston Red Sox, right? And I actually wanted him to be a Boston Red Sox because I work on the Fan in New York with Mets fans. And I'm like, I don't want to have to talk about this every single day. And I knew we were going to talk about it every single day. I'm like, if he goes to Boston, we can avoid it until the Red Sox come here or the Yankees go up there. But I knew he wasn't going to Boston. I knew it was all smoke and mirrors. I knew he also wasn't going to Toronto. He was always going to the richest owner in the sport. So congrats, man. Congrats. 888-808-1019. Rob is in Jackson Heights.
Hey, what's going on, Keith? Thanks for taking the call.
Thanks for making it.
So actually, I follow you on Instagram, and I saw you going to the game, and I was hoping to hear your takes on the Knicks and Juan Soto today. I wasn't sure if you'd be on air, so.
Yeah, I wasn't missing this one tonight. I knew this was going to be a special night tonight, and I said Knicks were going to win. I had no doubt that they were going to finish the Celtics off at home, and I didn't say the Yankees were going to win, but I knew that the fans were going to win. I knew that Yankee fans were going to win the day and night, and maybe Juan Soto hits one out to shut us up, but it wouldn't have shut us up.
Yeah, of course not. So that's another point I wanted to touch on. So going into the series, I was really looking forward to how the Yankee fans were going to treat him and heckle him, and I wanted them to do exactly what they did. I think the fans did a great job. Looking back on it now, though, I kind of see a guy that doesn't want to play the villain. I actually kind of felt bad for him looking at him. Just wanted to hear your take. If you think if he could go back and do it again, do you think he would choose the Yankees, or do you think he would make the same decision?
I think he would choose the most money. Thanks for the call, Rob. And that's it. There are things that money can't buy. There were things that I talked about that I'm like, yo, the Yankees have a key to the city in a way that like the Mets don't. Like, as much as this rivalry exists, there are some restaurants where they want the Yankees there. They do not care if Mike Piazza pulls up. Like, they want Derek Jeter to come through, Mariano to come. They don't care if maybe Darryl Strawberry, maybe Doc Good. They don't care if, like David Wright, but like that they're Yankees. There are Yankee fans that, own businesses and things in New York, and they lean towards the Yankees where, like, that's a real thing. But Juan Soto was always chasing the bag. Can't fault him for that. Aren't we all? None of us will ever be able to relate to the, amount of money that he was chasing and getting. No. I honestly think if the Pittsburgh Pirates put a bid out there that was just $1 million more AAV than the Mets, he'd sign with the Pirates. Pirates aren't doing that. But like, he was going when the man told us in Yankee Stadium after the World Series Game 5 that he was available to all 30 teams, that's a Boris like talking point. That's a Boris thing. Like, hey, make yourself we want everyone to bid. That's a marketing strategy. We want everyone to bid. We want the number to be so high, and bidders will fall off, and we will choose the last person standing. You've ever gone to these auctions? Looking for 700, looking for 700. Oh, we got 700 right here. Looking for 701, 701, oh, 701. And the lady in the back, 705. Got 705 going. One's got 705. 710. We got 710. 710. 750. Let's take a quick jump. Let's jump to 737. Looking for 730. Oh, we got a guy in the back with a Mets hat. He's going 765. 765 going once. 765 going twice. Yankees coming back to you, staying at 760, not going to say, you sure you don't want to go to 7? Sold, 765. Juan Soto sold to Steve Cohen and the Mets. Simple as that. So now that you got the prize free agent, now that you got the generational Juan Soto, go win a World Series with him. If you win one in 15 years, it's worth it. But for the Yankees, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you get what you need. I don't know the other quote. Like, it's a silver lining. I even wrote it into Chat GPT. Chat GPT is like silver lining. I think they called it like serendipity. It is great, man. It is great, man. The Knicks are moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. The world is watching videos of New York City flooded with orange and blue fans. And the Yankees have another game against the Mets at 105. I'll see you there. And Juan Soto's going to get booed again. And what are you guys going to do tomorrow? I won't be on the air tomorrow. This same conversation is going to be had by everybody. I'll be on Sunday. We're going to have the same conversation. I'll be your Huckleberry. It is what it is. Let's go to Sonny in Montclair before we go to break. What's up, man? You're on the fan.
Couple of quick things. I was at game one of the World Series with my son who was living in LA. He was a USC grad, but we're going to do it again in 2 weeks from tonight, Keith, and then my son's moving back home. But so hopefully
You're going to LA?
Yeah. Well, we were at game one that time. It was brutal. It was great until the last pitch, obviously. But what I was going to say about tonight, what the Mets fans don't understand is exactly what you said. You were in our house, and then not only did you have the guts to leave, but you moved next door. So tonight was about, now we're smacking you around. Now you can leave. Now we give you permission to leave and don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. He was trying to be so cool tonight. Like he was talking to Austin Wells, like between every pitch. He was a little nervous. He didn't know what was going to hit him. And the turning the back was brilliant. However you feel, that's what the cops did to the.
We were just like, we all just, everybody's just saying, turn around. No, all of you, turn around. Even if, turn around. Everybody turn around. And me, I was waiting. I'm like, I heard Trent Grisham get up, and then, once they announced it, I'm like, all right, let's turn around. We got to see the first pitch.
Exactly. And in contrast, how beautiful you see Jalen Brunson. I'm also a Villanova grad. He took less money to stay here, and look at.
Talk about it.
Wow, that's a contrast.
Talk about it.
To be here.
Thanks for the call, Sonny. Great example, right? It's not always about the most money. It's about what helps the team. It's about team chemistry. It's about some type of loyalty. It's okay. We understand. Juan Soto wasn't on that. But in this city, you have Jalen Brunson that took less money so that this team could exist. Look where they are. Jackson Merrill took a shot at Juan Soto. I don't know if they had some type of beef while Juan Soto was a Padre, but Jackson Merrill talked about, I don't need a ridiculous contract like some other people. I have real relationships with people in this building. This is where I want to be. I don't have to try and run them up to the highest possible number. So, it is what it is. There are people in Major League Baseball who have signed, whether it's Bobby Witt Jr. or Julio Rodriguez, players that Jose Ramirez. Juan Soto is really a one-on-one. I don't know when we're going to see another prospect come through this young, this much money, and this much opportunity, and also have as much of a decorated resume. But I feel like if Juan Soto was more around New York, or maybe if he had another year, if he had someone in his corner, someone would have told him, hey, in New York, with $760 million over the next 16 years, being a Yankee and avoiding the vitriol that you're going to get from, it might be something to consider. 888-808-1019. My last 20 minutes on the fan coming up. I'll be right back. When one door opens, another one. When one door closes, another one opens. That's what I said, bro. Buddy would have went to the Pirates, carried your pathetic franchise. Come on, bro. It's what are y'all on? The 27-time champions that are worth the most money? Come on, bro. Pathetic franchise to a World Series appearance, and now you're throwing parades on May 16th. I'm crying. You're not crying. You're hitting the crying emoji. It's 1:30 in the morning. Go to bed. It's the World Series. Have you been to a World Series? I got to go to the World Series last year because the Yankees were in it. It was great. It was a good time. We're not throwing any parades. Tiki Barber opened the show today talking Juan Soto. Of course he did. No, you got it right the first time. Juan so-so. His performance tonight was so-so. 3 walks. Amber, exactly. That's why I'm like, these people act like this is new. I was in there tonight yelling, Mets fans suck. Mets suck. Because we've been doing that. I was taught that a decade ago. Before Juan Soto entered the league. Yeah. Oswaldo, tough one. Just sucks to see a guy's season cut like that. He was finally getting a real opportunity and just, it's the game. That factored into it. His ego is so massive, having to play second fiddle to Aaron Judge. I not only did that play into it, having to play second fiddle to Aaron Judge, but I think he thought he was going to go to the Mets and ball harder than Lindor and Alonso, and they've both overshadowed him so much. So it's like he's had a hard time celebrating them. He's had a hard time, joining in on the party with those guys. The thing with I can't even reveal all that I know, honestly. I'm trying to think how to say this because people in the Yankees organization told me about the like Juan Soto isn't rags to riches. Juan Soto made $31 million with the Yankees last year. He could buy his mom enough clothes to fill up the outfield of Yankee Stadium. But it's almost like the audacity of damn, 760 million is not enough. You give an inch, they're gonna take a mile. So he asked the Yankees for a suite. The Yankees said no, that's separate. That goes through ticket sales. I don't know if my dude is on here right now, actually. Okay, let me know if that changes. Latrell Sprewell and Larry Johnson will be in a suite tomorrow. I know the owner of the suite. I also know ballpark what he pays for the suite every year. It's a lot of money. So the Yankees weren't willing to pay someone $760 million and subtract the money that they would make selling that suite. Those suites, they're purchased by corporate people. The first time I ever was in a suite, I was with Fubo TV. We had a suite on behalf of a company that we were trying to broker a deal with. There are some people that own those suites. And to think that Juan Soto went back to the Yankees with the Mets offer, which included a suite and a clothing allowance for his mother. And the Yankees were like, come on, bro. We got to give you a suite, lose $1 million a season for 15 years. We got to lose 16, because they offered 16. We got to lose $16 million on this deal, potentially more, because who knows what the suites and ticket prices are going to cost year after year. And when you get to the World Series, everything is come on, yo. Come on, yo. There's levels to this. You got to draw the line somewhere. He's not Aaron Judge. He's not Derek Jeter. And both, Aaron Judge and his parents, the suite that they're in, Judge pays for. The suite that Charles Jeter was in, he paid for his suite with his family, bro. Amber, you never seen a game. Where'd you say you were from, Amber? You never seen a game in Yankee Stadium? You said you're on the opposite side of the country. Come on down. I've got a full rack of calls. I've got 14 minutes left. I'm probably not even gonna get to these people, yo. I'm gonna try, but probably not even gonna get to them, yo. That's okay. I didn't go to Yankee Stadium for the first 20 years of my life. Nobody ever brought me. I got to get back on the air. This is Soto's walkout song for Game 2. Many men wish death upon me. Oh my God, stop talking about Juan Soto. Somebody in my chat, they're like, what are you guys talking about? Tiki Barber started the show talking about Juan Soto. Aaron Boone and Carlos Mendoza got on our airwaves and they both were asked and talked about Juan Soto. Like, don't bury the lead. 888-808-1019. Jerry's in South Jersey on the fan. Hello, Jerry.
The scumbag. He supposedly grew up as a kid as a Yankee fan. You grew up as a Yankee fan and $1 million makes you go to the other team. I'm going to tell you what I think is the main reason why he left the Yankees and went to the Mets. I believe it's because of Aaron Judge. On the Yankees, Juan Soto will be number 2. Aaron Judge is number 1. On the Mets, he can get all the glory for himself. I think that factored in his.
Or so he thought, because Pete Alonso has outshined him. So has Lindor.
Yeah, I agree. I just think he's a phony.
Yeah, he is. He is. I'll take it from here, Jerry. Thanks. So I remember campaigning and saying, yo, his family, they're Yankee fans. Because we saw the picture of his uncle, who we first thought was his dad. The first time Juan Soto played in Yankee Stadium with the Nationals, his uncle showed up in a pinstripe Yankee jersey with a sign that says, I'm a Yankee fan, like just here for Juan Soto. Many of you have seen that picture. He was on the field as a guest of Juan Soto, but was so happy to be at Yankee Stadium for the first time. This is your uncle. This is Unc. This is Unc. Used to change your diapers. Used to make you some meals. Used to take you in the car. You let you ride shotgun. This is Unc. Unc grew up telling you about them Yankees. One day you're going to make it, son. One day you're going to be a Yankee. I remember watching the interview in Espanol where Juan Soto talked about Gio Gonzalez and how Gio Gonzalez told him, you're going to be a Yankee one day. Why? Because you have the talent and the Yankees get the best players and they have the money to pay for their best players. Gio Gonzalez didn't know that Steve Cohen was going to. He was thinking about the Wilpons. He wasn't even thinking about the Wilpons, actually. So I don't know if Juan Soto grew up a Yankee fan. But when you talk about the shadow that Aaron Judge casts, it's huge. There's nobody better than him in baseball. And we had these arguments about Ohtani. Until Ohtani starts pitching again, he's not better than Judge. And so maybe there was some of that. All right, if I'm here for 15 years, the next 6-7 years of Judge's contract, I'm Robin. I want to be Batman. If I sign with the Mets, I'm Batman right away. No, you're not. Like Lindor is that guy over there. Like Lindor is Batman. Alonso is Superman. You might be Green Lantern right now. Jacob is in Fairhaven on the fan. What's up, Jacob?
Hey, Keith. Thanks for taking my call, man. Just want to talk about a few things. Loved a lot of the points you were making about the Yankees. I actually have to agree with one of the previous, what some of the Mets fans have been saying. Yeah, I'm a Yankees fan. I will live and die a Yankees fan. My grandfather worked at both versions of the old Yankee Stadium. I will be a Yankees fan forever.
Okay.
So, that. But I also know that as a Yankee fan, there's a level of entitlement. And frankly, I say, historically, it's a 27 championships. I don't know what you want me to say. And I think with the Yankees fans, with the whole Juan Soto situation, obviously, we wanted him, we kept him. for him to stay. I'm sorry, I'm really tired.
Ditto. Thanks for the call, Jacob. I'll finish the thought for you. I'm just running out of time. Are Yankee fans entitled? Hell yeah. Are we spoiled? Hell yeah. Are you wrong for saying that, like, Yankees fans are acting like jilted lovers? No, you're not wrong. But we're also not wrong for doing what we did. That's what we do. Like, welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, right? They play that every single time before the Yankees come out. Before you hear shook ones, you hear Swizz Beats. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, right? It's a jungle out there. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the weak. If you step out there, you better be ready to play. And that goes for the Yankees too. Marco is in Queens on the fan. What's up, Marco? Polo. Come on, Marco. All right, well, let's go to Dave in New Haven on the fan. Dave, switch it up for us.
Keith, my man.
My man, pots and pans.
Pots and pans. My Knicks finally broke through, baby. And F1 Soda. Well, I'm not even going to talk about him.
Yeah, but you knew one day that the Knicks would come through, and not for nothing, we've been watching the Knicks with Jalen Brunson, and they kept tweaking and changing the team. And honestly, I thought they took a step too far this year. What do I know? Leon Rose is somewhere quietly like,
Exactly. I watched Jalen Rose and Dallas, and I was surprised they didn't sign him. When we got him, I knew.
Brunson.
Yeah. Oh, Jalen Brunson, my bad. Yeah, I knew he was a big deal. He came through clutch. The game the other day was a farce. The refs, I don't even want to get into it, but I'm looking forward to my Knicks playing Indiana, like back in the days when I was a young boy, and we're gonna get them this time.
Villanova back in the Final Four.
Yeah, I can't wait for us to put it on Halliburton with that little choke thing and that hoodie last year. I never forgot that hoodie. You know, our bench. We got our starter.
Reggie Miller got to come back to the Garden.
Listen, I'm so excited about the Knicks. I'm done with the Giants. My Yankees are doing well, and my Knicks might get to the finals this year.
And you get to watch the Eastern Conference Finals with the Knicks in it. Congrats, Dave. I can't hate on it. I'm trying to go. I'm already checking on people. I wasn't trying to go to the second round. The Eastern Conference Finals is in New York City in Madison Square Garden. I'm trying to go. Out in San Francisco. Omar on the fan in New York. How are you?
Orange and blue skies, Keith. Orange and blue skies.
All the way out west?
You better be.
Everywhere.
Keith, oh baby, all over the world. I was so happy and so pleased that we got past these Celtics. Goodbye, Boston, and good riddance. That's number one. Number two, what we saw last night at Madison Square Garden was a masterclass. These guys, these Knicks that we love, that I love, that the Knicks fans adore, hadn't played anything like this in the entire playoffs until this game. 100% from start to finish. That is what we're going to have to beat these Pacers. They're not going to be easy. But Keith, it seems that every time, in the last two times we've got to the NBA Finals, we've had to get the Pacers in order to get there. And here we are again, Keith. And we have some payback to get back on these Pacers from last season. And I believe we've got the pieces to do it now. The mentality is there. You're seeing the experience of players who have been to NBA Finals, who've been to conference finals, the way we played against Detroit in a really gritty manner, the way we got past these Celtics, the way we won these games, Mikal Bridges, all of these guys are beginning to round into shape at the right time, Keith. And although it's going to be tough against the Pacers, I believe we can do it. And I believe we're going to get it done.
There it is, man. You got to believe. Stay down till you come up. The Knicks are up now. Paul is in Hartford, Connecticut. Go for it, Paul. I'm running out of time.
All right. Yo, Keith, big props to the Knicks. Let's go, baby.
Yes, sir.
But here's the thing. You know what? Baseball finally got it right. It's about time we got a 3-game series with both these teams.
Yeah, it's been a few years since 2021.
there's nothing better than tomorrow's matchup with the mystical Canning. Let's see if the Mets pitching lab has got all it's cracked up to be tomorrow. Because with that is all on the line if Canning come out and showed up tomorrow. And Sunday night, baby, Peterson and Fried, what's better than that? Because Peterson has showed he can deal. And Fried, you know what you got with Fried. So let's go, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a great matchup. Thanks for the call, Paul. I went in 2021. I say it all the time. That was the best baseball atmosphere of that 2021 season. What you saw in Yankee Stadium last night was the best baseball atmosphere of this 2025 season. We got the day game tomorrow and then the night game Sunday. And yeah, let's see if Griffin Canning can strike the Yankees out 12 times like he did in 2023. It was pretty much a complete different team. But yeah, the pitching lab will be put to the test. Mo and Whitestone on the Fan. Go for it, Mo.
What up, Keith? So I'm just here to point out the hypocrisy of the Yankee fan. I know you guys are talking about everything. The thing that bothers me more than anything is how Juan Soto is a greedy scumbag because he took the most money from the Mets. Yet Max Fried comes here for the most money from the Yankees that he got offered. So that's okay. Next year, if you guys get cut,
what?
What are you talking? You're telling me right now, Max Fried he got more money from the Yankees that he was going to get from anywhere. But no one, how come Yankee fans are okay with that? You don't think there are Braves fans that are upset?
It wasn't a ridiculous contract. He was a Brave. He wasn't going back to the Braves. The Yankees had to outbid the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, so they didn't have to face them in the division. I just never heard that take before.
Gee, it's the most money, right? The most money that was available, right? I'm telling you, and he was with
Yeah, but there was no type of rivalry or loyalty. He didn't play like he was hitting free agency. He wasn't, the Braves weren't going to, I don't know. Thanks for the call, Mo. That one missed me. I'm running out of time. That one didn't land for me. Reggie in White Plains, you're on the Fan.
Keith, man, love the nostalgia of the Knicks, man. Brings me back to high school, shooting in the driveway with my boys.
Everybody, yeah, go find you. I'm seeing all these old pictures of people repping the Knicks from years ago. Like, I was here.
Wow, man. Hey, real quick, so obviously he came up as a teenager. He's a prodigy, tight inner circle, Boris in his ear for years leading into this free agency. Like, part of me kind of feels bad for him. Like, think about Jeter. He couldn't walk a dog in New York City without paparazzi all over him. Soto's never been like photographed with a chick at like 2 a.m. or anything like that. His life's been so robotic just to get this bag. And, the Mets are a good family for him. I think he's going to find his place. But, I mean, those celebrations with Judge, man, those are going to be some of his best memories down the stretch, I got a feeling.
You're 100% correct about that. Thanks for the call, Reggie. How could he not be comparing being on the other side of New York and not be pressing and not be like he doesn't look like himself? Did he shuffle tonight? I was hearing, Juan Soto's going to break out the shuffle in Yankee Stadium. Please. Last call goes to Antonio, Dover Plains. You're in there.
Hey, Keith. So let me get this right. So the Knicks won a big game today. They're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. But your whole show is crying about the girl.
Man, shut up. You clearly didn't listen to the whole show. Go back on the free Odyssey app and see how I opened the show. Some of y'all trip me out, man. Go to bed. Hoff is coming up next. I'm going home. Probably won't go to bed because I got to go back to Yankee Stadium. But yeah, that's enough. Juan Soto is off the table, Hoff. You can't mention Juan Soto. Just talk about the Knicks and only the Knicks for the next X amount of hours. I'm out of here. I'll be back Sunday with a little Sunday sauce. Good night. Now you hit it. Had to tell that dumb, shut up, man. You didn't listen to the show. I was literally naming old Knicks. It was a 3-hour show. The first hour was Knicks, at least. Yeah, go get him. Hoff is somewhere sleeping in here. Appreciate you guys, man. I don't think I'll be live on here tomorrow, but I'll be, at Yankee Stadium. So just follow my Twitter or my Instagram, and you'll see what Saturday looks like. Appreciate everybody that watched. It means a lot. Seriously, it's 2 a.m. You guys could do anything else. So thank you for rocking with me. Even if you don't rock with me, but you're just looking in. See you Sunday. Long stream Sunday 1 to 6 before Sunday Night Baseball. Good night.